Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to another day of nibbling at the toes of YouTube. I'd like to just say hi to everybody that's already showed up in the chat. The Time Prophet, Deej, who's actually on the panel with us as well. And Bone, what's going on? Bone, hello peoples. Yes, Hoy, what's going on, buddy? I hope you are well. And we are here to talk about this nonsense with YouTube. Who else shows up? Memes. Memes, what's going on? You should bring your ass up here, Memes, because this concerns you as well. This is kind of the nonsense that's been going on with YouTube. They've been taking people, they've been going backwards, they've been hitting people's older videos, age restricting them, copyright striking them. They've been doing everything they can to screw with content creators as a whole. I mean, we've seen it through a lot of different people, whether it was Josiah Rises, whether it was Latino Slant when they hit him just recently, Fanzine when they demonetized his channel. I mean, the list keeps going on. Wes Moody, they went after Wes again, and now they went after the memes too. Like, this is ridiculous with this nonsense with YouTube. Now, whether it's YouTube, JJ, what's going on? You bring your ass up here too, man. Well, now, whether it's YouTube by themselves or like we were talking about, whether it could possibly be people that are actually targeting content creators, this is something that needs to be addressed. This is something that YouTube really needs to address, because we are the people who are sitting on your platform, who started the platform. Like, the content creators are the ones that brought attention to your platform in the first place, because it was supposed to be about the content creators and reaching out and be able to talk to other people, to share your ideas and your stories. And that's what it was all about to begin with. And somehow it's become this corporate nonsense structure where they're trying to bury the people that help make their platform what it was. And I just think it's ridiculous. And I think we just need to speak up. Yo, Sentinel, what's going on? Steve, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm not a YouTuber and all that, so I'm not sure how all this works. But even I got an age restriction thing slapped on my channel. I guess about a month ago, one of my top fives got in trouble with YouTube, and that video was 6 or 7 months old, I think. So if that one was problematic, they all are. You've seen them. There's no filter there.
No, absolutely
not. Well, I was just one getting into trouble, right? So I think someone reported it, to be honest.
Well, I've had a very similar situation, and one of the things, I mean, besides having like 160 plus some odd subs just snatched from my channel overnight, and then having people's comments on my videos, like, I'm not creative. He constantly tells me he leaves comments on my videos and they get yeeted by YouTube before they even make it for me to, to have a chance to really review. Another thing that happens is, like, he'll like my videos after watching them, and they'll pull the like away, and he'll go back to maybe rewatch the video again, and he'll say his like disappeared and he has to like it again. It's just nonsense like that. So one of the things they did recently is they went back and they age restricted a bunch of my videos. It started off with two. It started off with a lightsaber video and a Christmas dedication video to my father that had a few scantily clad women in Christmas type outfits. Well, apparently YouTube got offended, or somebody else got offended and reported that my lightsaber video. So I contested both of them, appealed them. And what did I get for my efforts of appealing? Not only did I get denied, but then I got 6 more age restrictions on top of it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of unsubbing on YouTube, I've noticed, because I tend to get unsubbed to channels that I watch. I was unsubbed to Sporking's channel, even though I have a wrench and everything, and I tend to watch him.
Yeah, well, that's another thing, Steve. That was another thing for a long time. It was the unsubbing. I mean, that was one of the first things I started griping about YouTube about, with like the 160. But I'm still getting people that I run into all the time. The most recent one was Adam Shawhan in the Wiener Dog Clan. He told me that he had to resub to me yet again because he keeps getting unsubbed constantly. I mean, this is something that YouTube just keeps doing. And I don't know what really they're thinking, unless they're like purposely trying to sabotage their own platform by trying to drive people away. Because sooner or later, people get irritated and they're going to walk away, just like what happened with MySpace all those years ago.
Yeah, I've noticed I tend to get unsubbed to the same channels though. I've been unsubbed to Drunk 3PO 5 or 6 times, and Lethal Lightning a few times too. I don't know and Sporking. But I've been on sub to him like 5 times all in all, I think, in the last year, which is weird because that's probably the channel I've been on the most, next to Alora's channel, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I've talked about that before as well, being on somebody's channel when I was still a mod and modding for all these different channels, and being unsubbed in the middle of modding duties while I'm sitting on their stream. Like, I never seen anything like that before. I think it's just gotten to the point that it's become absolutely ridiculous. Tina, what's going on, Tina? Do you recall offhand the age requirement to create a YouTube account? For example, a person must enter a birthday of at least, I believe it's 14 years old to be able to create a YouTube account, I believe. There are age restrictions too, like age restricted content where you have to be signed in and you're supposed to be over 18. But yeah, I believe it's 14 to create a regular account. 13 years and under, they consider a child. I believe that's the way the terminology works.
Yeah, because when you're 13, that's when you're a teen. That's probably where they set the limit, right?
Yeah. Deej, have you seen any of this yourself personally?
Well, I've gotten notifications that I've had comments on videos, and then I go to the video and nothing's ever there. I've had some channels unsubscribed to. Yeah, I've had this. Usually, though, the battles that I have with my channel is idiots that try to claim videos that I've done, that they've done a year after mine.
Yeah, see, that kind of shit is ridiculous. And this is part of that, like that false flagging nonsense that YouTube really should be going after these people when they make false flags like this. They should be liable, but usually they're not. Like, they will go after the channel owner and then try to screw with them. They may even hit them with a copyright strike, or they might hit them with a community guidelines strike, which they've done to numerous people. I mean, but they won't go after these people that are making the false claims. And that is a busted system, because, okay, the rules are in place for us to follow, but these people who are false flagging are not responsible. There's nothing for, any kind of, oh God, there's no consequences for them at all. I mean, seriously, is that the way the game is being played? Because if you're going by that set of rules, guess what, YouTube? I don't have to obey your rules, because if you're not following your own rules that you've set down for everybody that's on your platform, and it only applies to a certain select group, I don't need to follow your damn rules either, because you're not following them.
Well, they should.
See,
oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Sig.
Well, if someone false flags a video, YouTube knows who did that, because it's registered, right? So all they have to do is like put up a rule that if you false flag something, and there's nothing wrong with the stuff you're flagging, then you should get the punishment yourself.
Exactly.
You know, that would solve a lot of things, because I'm pretty sure a lot of YouTubers tend to false flag their rivals, kind of. Because Matt Jarbo got busted at doing that, right?
Oh yeah. Then he had his whole channel eventually taken down because so many people unsubscribed because they found out about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, time profit. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. He said he spent about 6 hours trying to get videos uploaded because he has to re-upload until he can get past the copyright claims part. And you know what? And that copyright claims thing is just bullshit. It's just what they say initially, because if they want to, they can come back later on and claim a copyright on it. They've done it to me before.
Well, see, the problem I had, I put out a song parody in March of 2020. My Corona. It was a parody of my Sharona.
Right.
In March of 2021, a comedian put out his version of it, and the company that represented him automatically went after mine, trying to say that I stole theirs, even though mine was out an entire year before theirs. And all I would get from YouTube was, well, we don't decide these. It has to come from the person that made the claim. What the hell?
Yeah, see, and that's one of those things I would actually fight, Deej. I would tell them to take me to court. Take them to court. Waste your money. Take me to court.
That is what I finally did. I kept going back after them, and I finally had to threaten, let's take this to court, and you can pay all my legal fees because you're the dumbass that just showed that yours is a year older or a year after mine. Let's go. And they finally released it.
Crazy! It's absolutely insane. I'm gonna get to a couple comments, and then we're gonna welcome our next guest.
Till I venture someplace scary, ghostly haunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
I apologize. I didn't know the schedule. Oh my God, I'm off center and everything. I'm a terrible person.
What's going on?
What's going on? How we all doing? How we all doing?
Real quick. I'm gonna Happy Dinosaur. What's going on? Welcome, my friend. And you know what? Hail Happy. Yeah. Lawsuit YouTube. You know what? And that's the thing. I think it's going to wind up coming to that at some point. It's memes. I know that you recently just got hit with this nonsense too. So go ahead and explain exactly what happened to you, my friend.
Well, apparently I was going onto this YouTube of Stuff and Things to upload a workout video to another channel that is completely hidden. It's not that well hidden, but it does exist. But as I was doing that, all of a sudden, this bright thing pops up, says, "You have received a community guidelines strike." I'm like, oh, this is interesting. It's my first time. So again, it's kind of like Clash of Clans. You have your shield, so it gave me a shield because it's your first time. So I'm like, all right. So I go into it, and it says, well, your video has been flagged for sexually explicit or something violating their sexual abuse. I'm like, that's horrible. What did I do? It was a video from about 8 months ago when I covered that apparently at the time, Visa and MasterCard were planning a pulling out of Pornhub. Now, there actually is a double entendre, isn't there? But that's aside from the case. But ultimately, what it actually came down to, because I was covering a New York Times opinion piece there, and from what I could see, it's like, all right, I tried avoiding using the grape word. I said it once there, but that didn't even seem to be the issue. The issue seemed to be that, and at least what YouTube flagged to me, was the article itself from the New York Times, the paper of record. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, it does have the grape word in it. And I'm like, well, is that the issue? And then YouTube gave me all these different links and everything. And I clicked on the links, and then there were more links and everything. I'm getting ready to do a video on it. I got like 10 or 12 tabs or something open there. And I read through it. And I clicked the more things. And I clicked some more things. What's going on, Curtis? And I'm going through and I'm reading. I'm like, is there some provocative stuff there? Yes. There are some individuals there whom, when they were underage, there were videos taken of them. Some of them were given consensually. Some of them were not. And we all know rule 2 of the internet. The internet for better or worse, is forever. And these individuals, some were sharing their identities, some were not. Essentially, they shared their stories because this is an important topic. And even in the video, I'm like, this is a serious topic. And ultimately, actually, the authors of that particular article, his recommendations, as far as I understand it, were implemented. I needed to verify who I was on Pornhub. You need to like actually send them like government, or just show them a picture of your government ID and then have a picture of you that says like your handle and everything. And I'm like, but I had to take the sunglasses off, unfortunately. But they have you identify who you are, and like that article actually ended up making a difference. There was additional moderation, as well as different methods for like verifying who users were. I'm like, all right, that doesn't sound unreasonable. That helped affect change. The issue that I think a lot of folks are having is, all right, something goes up, and then all of a sudden something changes, and all of a sudden, like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, several years ago, something that was perfectly fine then, all of a sudden you can get community guideline strike and you lose your channel? I don't know. That doesn't sound that cool. That don't sound like no ex post facto.
And something very similar just happened to Wes Moody. I mean, not once, but twice. And like I said, I know they've hit me with a lot of these guideline restrictions as far as 18 over. Curtis is what's going on, buddy? And I see the Gilk Man is there. What's going on, Gilk Man? Always good to see you, Thomas. But I mean, it was the same thing like me. It was like videos from like two years ago. 2 years ago, they didn't have a problem with it for 2 years. Then all suddenly there was a problem. And this is the thing. We're not sure. And we were kind of discussing, we were thinking like, is this somebody that's purposely going around to other YouTube content creators that they're irritated with, that they don't like? Or are they just reporting them? And if that is the case, why is YouTube not doing anything against these people that are just going around false flagging people just for no reason whatsoever? Because some of the content that I've had on my lightsaber videos, yeah, they're scantily clad, but they are all covered 100%. And as far as I know, oh God, what is it? Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue is not 18 and over. It's not restricted as far as I've seen. So why is it restricted for me?
Aren't there ads that might have certain, at times, provocative things? I remember there was a burger commercial a number of years ago. I'm just saying.
I put a big dildo up on one of my videos, and it was okay. But
no. See, I thought that was a massager.
Yeah, it was a back straightener, a rubber back straightener.
Right.
But yeah.
My friends had like nubs and stuff on it.
Oh,
you can roll on it, straighten your back out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably good if you have a hernia.
Take your manhood.
It's probably good for fixing a hernia.
I'm waiting for the day when I get kicked off YouTube for the truffle shuffle.
So here's an interesting thing. We all know YouTube is totally not a sexist platform. They promote inclusivity, inclusivity and in words. Okay, they don't want to be sexist. So why am I allowed to take my shirt off, but my gal pals cannot? What's the deal with that? Why am I allowed to show my nipples, but they are not?
Good point.
Well, here's another point. Like I said, I know for me, for a lot of the stuff that they were going after and they were age restricting, I know it had to do with, skimpy outfits like bikinis and stuff like that. You're telling me that that's a problem sitting on a public platform such as YouTube? Because whether they try to say that, they're a private entity or not, everything that they're showing is in a public forum. Anybody can view it at any time. So you're telling me it's a problem being there, but if I go down to the beach and see the same thing, it's not a problem? I mean, I think the rules are a little bit, askew, and it's almost like they become the modern age Puritans with some of the shit that they're coming down on at this point.
The age gaming thing doesn't necessarily sound like I'm like, all right, this does lead to an article that may potentially cause someone some mental distress. Okay, let me change this to 18 plus out of an abundance of caution. But the whole, This was fine then. Now it's a problem. It's like, okay, with Pornhub, with the whole issue, it's like, are you verified yet? What did they actually do? I thought they deleted all my videos. No, they basically just privated them all. The content was still there. It just wasn't accessible. I'm like, well, why are you going to penalize for folks for stuff in the past before they even knew how to do it? And this was one of the things, even with OnlyFans, before they decided to continue carrying freaking sexually explicit material and everything. You're looking at it, you're like, oh, okay. There were like, what happens if some of the material was fine, but others was not? If you happen to have thousands of videos that you've made over years, because this is your primary source of income, how would you be able to sort through that? And I had actually reached out to their support, shout out to my source within there, and they basically said, it's like, all right, yeah, we're developing tools. And then like 2 days later, they changed their mind.
Well, Tina Bojan just said what I was thinking in the chat. What if you show your chest on YouTube and then say you're a female?
I think you break the internet.
Yeah, because if naked female nipples are illegal on YouTube, then
I mean, I'm kind of fluid. I'm mostly a scaly. These are questions I've had in my mind, but not often spoke out loud publicly in this forum, as Tom would say, on the internet.
Yeah, and what about the other 67 genders? Why are they okay?
Well, I mean, typically with a furry, you have fur, and as long as you have something typically covering the genitalia, that's my Bayesian prior.
Well, I identify as a coctopus, so I should be able to show my penis on YouTube. A female coctopus.
I mean, is it clothed?
I don't know.
Maybe if you spurt some ink first.
Yeah,
actually,
sure.
no. That probably falls within the fetish material for self-gratification. Dude,
Yeah,
I've read a lot of policies. There's a lot of content that, according to this, probably totally violates the terms of service.
Very interesting. I see your hobbies are drinking, smoking weed, and all types of ill shit.
I don't have
Facebook.
I don't have ink in me though, but I have something that looks like correctional fluid.
Glenzer, what's going on? I seen Glenzer popped in, and Yvette, what's going on? Yvette, greetings. Thank you for coming. And Brutal Morningwood. God damn. Love it. Thank you all for coming. Be sure to share the link and smash the like button if you would be so kind. God, I mean, all this stuff, though, it's really ridiculous on the part of the YouTube, though. I mean, seriously, because if you think about some of the things they're doing, it's like you're talking about memes. They will give you guidelines to follow, but they never give you any real guidelines to follow. They give you these rabbit holes that you wind up keep chasing down, and you never get the answers that you're looking for, because you say, well, what did I specifically do wrong that violated your terms of service or violated a copyright claim if you claim it happened? Give me details, and they refuse to do it. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that YouTube has, is there is no communication when it comes to content creators.
I'm just going to point out here, a couple of years ago, wasn't there something like Article like 13 and 15 in the European Union that might have ended the internet that people were talking about? I'm pretty sure it passed. And I thought one of the stipulations was a lot of these large companies actually needed to have phone numbers so you could talk to human beings. That's a side tangent that maybe somebody should talk about at some point or another whenever it's enacted. But as far as that goes, Tommy, see, my thing is, at least I get copyright like claims and stuff all the time. The last strike I think I got was actually from the Weather Girls when I was using It's Raining Men. It was fair use. It was fair use. I did appeal it. It's totally fine. But the issue you run it, like, see that it usually will say, well, this section to this section. So as long as they're clear, like, see, for me, it's like they said the article, but then all of a sudden it's like, if they say somewhere in this 2-hour live stream, there's an issue, you violate the terms of service. What are the terms of service? These vague things we said. Could you give us a timestamp? Because obviously you found it at some point, so just do the same thing for the content ID. I mean, you have the number, I'm sure they could create a little tool, or even I often timestamp videos, like 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 16 seconds in. You just literally type it in. It will tell you.
Well, I know that was one of the things that they did have for copyright claims on a lot of my older videos. I used to see them because they would say, all right, this segment in between, say, 112 and 2 something. That's where your claim is. You can either change, if it was music, you could change out the music, or if it was a segment, you can cut the whole segment out, whatever you wanted to do. But they've actually gotten to the point now where they make these vague assumptions that you know exactly what's wrong with your video. And then, like, when I got the age restrictions, they didn't say where it was age restricted at all. They just said, oh, well, it's just age restricted because we found violations, but they never explained why. They didn't say where the age restrictions were, and they just kind of leave you hanging. And they want you to follow these rules. And okay, fine, you want me to follow certain rules because it's your platform. I don't have that much of a problem with it, but at least explain what rules I'm actually supposed to be following, because when you're constantly changing them on a daily basis without proper giving a good explanation of what we could be doing wrong, how are we supposed to be able to follow those rules?
I think in that instance, you run into, I think it was a Facebook official at one point. I realized completely different company, but similar situation. I believe they said something along the lines of, well, we can't tell you exactly what it is because you might find a way around it. I understand what they're trying to communicate, because I have run across people that literally have done that. Certain folks really seem to like baking cookies and also not like Semitic people. I'm just saying, I understand that does exist, but the way it ended up being communicated, it's like, we can't tell you what's wrong because then you might not do something wrong. It's a horrible mimetic.
No, it's ridiculous, and it shouldn't be that way. I mean, they're just assuming the worst from every single person that's out there, and that actually damages the people that are just trying to go on this platform, whether they're just trying to have fun, whether they're trying to make it a business. It doesn't matter. It's damaging those people, and the people that don't give a shit are usually the ones running around reporting people just to cause chaos.
Well, I mean, the internet is a series of tubes, and I actually believe trolls are part of the natural ecosystem of the internet. But see, this is the interesting thing, because it's like, all right, what is this issue? Because I do think what you were stating before, it's like, all right, is this just an update and some algorithm was sweeping through, and as it was sweeping through, it came across this and then threw a strike or something out there? I mean, I totally believe that happens. Or is it somebody specifically targeting? That was one of the things I asked Team YouTube, as well as in my appeal, which I'm about to do a video on, is basically let us know. Because, see, for me, it's like, all right, why might this be the case? Because when I actually typed in, I think it was like Visa, MasterCard, and like Pornhub, there were several videos that immediately came up. I think I was like maybe the fourth one down. Like, you had a bunch like larger like YouTubers with a lot more views, and I had like 63 views or something, but it was, I typed in keywords that would bring me there, so it brought me there. I'm like, all right, well, maybe it's just going through the top seeded videos, because those other ones, they did not particularly have that article. There was at least one other one that I believe had the article, but that happened to already be age restricted. So again, my thing is, it's like, all right, if you don't want folks seeing this, because the issue is you're getting compensated for something that some folks might find obscene. Maybe advertisers don't want to be on it. That's fine. Move it to 18 plus. But to penalize folks for that when there's already a remedy, then that was the remedy that even happened on the adult platform Pornhub as well. Because my big thing is, you're citing me for linking an article to the New York Times. If there's an issue with somebody engaging in journalism and citing credible sources, that sounds like a problem.
No, most definitely. It is. It is. And it's, I mean, if you look at this from any other business standpoint, if you work for a company and the company didn't give you clear guideline rules to follow and you violated them, how do you know that you were going to violate them and you lose your job for something like that? Well, how can you fire me over hidden rules that I didn't know about? I mean, any place that you go to work for has a certain amount of guideline rules for you to follow. YouTube doesn't. They play this game under this vague set of rules that, you know, they can just like change and morph at any time they want. And I realize that as a company, they got to do certain things to be able to protect their business, so to speak. But when you're attacking the same people that help create your business, it's kind of detrimental. Because if you drive all the people away that first off that are content creators, that draw a lot of these people that are fans to their shows in, and they start leaving, where does that leave your company? Where does that leave your business model?
Yeah, and it's my impression that they add rules later too, and then punish people retroactively for not having followed them 2 years earlier.
Those are the things.
YouTubers aren't psychic.
What's the statute of limitations?
Yeah,
that is one of the factors. Go on.
They don't have any statute of limitations, though. It's whatever they throw out there. If they can nail you on it, they'll do it, and they won't even sit there and say, "Oops, okay, maybe you should have a break on this one because we changed the rules on you after 7 years." But they don't. They don't care.
So what you're saying is we need a statute of limitations on the internet.
Yeah, we kind of need.
I mean, as long as it's not a felony or something like that. I mean, it's like, I don't know, would that make sense? Because also, I'm going after you to try to hammer you against the wall, metaphorically, of course, and try to maybe get you fired for something that happened like 7 years ago. It's like, that doesn't really sound cool. People seem to be giggling about it at the time.
Well, most statute of limitations are only 2 years, but then if you look at like credit card companies and stuff like that, they actually run up to 7 years. So, but even then, I mean, should you really be punished for something from years ago when the rules were different when it went up?
Well, it's almost like cancel culture in a sense. YouTube doing social media cancel culture. Or content cancel culture.
Well, it's ex post facto, basically punishment. This is the thing. You're getting punished for something that was not illegal before this was changed. And the thing is, do they update these things? Yeah, there are updates, and yeah, you can follow like the blog and stuff like that. A lot of people don't actually read it though, because the thing is, if you actually interact there and everything, I think you can actually like affect change. I should totally do that more. But as far as just specifically what happens there, it's like, all I remember is when I played World of Warcraft, when things changed, we'd have these things called patch notes. So if you're going to update it, why not just every time say, here's the patch notes, here's what's changed from last time you were here.
Yeah, but I mean, they send out like changes to the guidelines, but they don't fully explain them. Miss Martin Muses, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. If you want a link to come up and if you're able, I'm more than willing to send one out to you. And Time Prophet actually has a question for you. He wants to know, do you have more than one yellow shirt?
Yes, just not another level up one. The other one says, you say psycho like it's a bad thing. It's my evil meme shirt.
Brutal Morningwood. Years ago, I worked in a Borders Books warehouse. They had to put out a company memo politely asking people to not wash their testicles in the water fountain.
Wow, what a ballsy move.
I know, right? That's the way to let it all hang out.
Yeah.
Now, were they having plumbing issues?
I would almost think so.
Do you know how deep that water fountain was? It was balls deep.
I hear it's adjustable. There's a little spigot. You gotta twist it. I used to work maintenance.
A lot of crotchety people.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta crank it.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it too tight though. It doesn't feel good.
No wonder they got shafted.
It's true.
My lord.
I just want to ask Brutal one question. Was the memo because of you? That's all I need to know. Was it because
you don't need to disclose that, Brutal? It's okay. It's okay. I'm not an attorney. I'm not an attorney.
Well, I mean, if any of us were, would we be here?
My dad talked me out of becoming an attorney.
I mean, I know attorneys, but yeah, it does really just seem like they're just.
I'm going to
whether it's them or whether it's other people doing the attacks. It just seems like it's very targeted.
Wait. Well, this is the interesting thing, because all I know is I'm not saying I was targeted. I have absolutely no evidence. I do not necessarily suspect this is the case. However, if I were to entertain that idea, I mean, it's not like I may or may not have called out a couple of companies with trillions and trillions of dollars under management and called for busting the trusts. That wouldn't irk anybody, would it?
I suppose not. No, it's frustrating though. I think it gets to the point though. I mean, for me personally, like I watch what they're doing to some of these people that have never really done anything at all, and that's the point where I really just feel like this is just like it's like a smear campaign just on anybody through association. Sometimes I really do think that, because I mean, if you look at people like Fanzine, what has Fanzine ever really said or really done to warrant like attacks on his channel? I mean, I know I've said some pretty off-colored things at times, so I could kind of see to a degree why somebody might come after me. But
well, that's the thing. If you're going out there, you're starting a bunch of drama, you're calling people all these names. It's like, all right, don't start nothing, don't get nothing. That's one of the things that we learned from one of Earth's saviors, Will Smith. But this is the thing. You look at what's going on, you see all these things happening, you're like, and you start to question it. And ultimately, what I think it's going to come down to is you're probably going to end up having a particular time, a particular case where something happens to them, something happens to their channel, and then they actually start litigation. Like, for instance, like with Twitch, I believe Dr. Disrespect, who apparently somebody confused me with the other day. But hey, thank you. He seems to be a very talented individual from what I hear. But basically, he's suing Twitch. And what we may end up seeing, and again, I am not an attorney. This is not any legal advice. But basically, if he sues, because a lot of folks said it was BS. See, again, I don't necessarily know, but what ends up happening is this may actually set precedent where, okay, you have a major video-based platform. All of a sudden, hey, Wes, all of a sudden, you see these things happening. It's like, all right, well, what happened here with Fanzine's thing? It's like, all right, I hear copyright things. Was he doing newly copyright things? Like, in my mind, like the whole fair use thing, again, there's no direct definition. And again, I'm not an attorney, but as far as fair use goes, okay, let's say Empire Strikes Back just came out, but we happen to have YouTube at the time. If all of a sudden you're showing the scene where it's like, Luke, I realize he doesn't actually say your father and everything. It's slightly different, but we seem to remember it differently. But when that happens, like if you play that the day after or anything, you're giving away major spoilers and stuff with the movie. If you're doing like a 10, 20, 30-second clip, okay, if they're going to bang you for that, I kind of understand. But if you just show like a random TIE fighter or something going around, like a lot of these, like you see on the news, they show like 10, 15 seconds of a TIE fighter shooting some like lasers or proton torpedoes, just arbitrarily, no context. It's like, all right, they understand. It's a movie about space and battles and wizards and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. So like if you do like a 10, 15-second clip of that, or if it's something from 30 years ago and you show it, all right. See, with Fanzine, I don't know. I didn't go back and watch the other video and everything. And ultimately, if you think about it, it's like, all right, well, especially if you're a smaller creator, it's like, all right, if I do a live stream and I have so many people, if I'm uploading like 20 hours of content to YouTube a week, and they're only getting so much ad revenue, does it even balance out the channel and everything? And it seems unfortunate that basically, well, unless you're a very large channel and you're commanding all this advertisement and everything, I mean, it's not necessarily even in their interest to kind of look out for us. We kind of got to look out for ourselves.
Yep, without a doubt. Wes, what's going on, buddy? Welcome.
Good to be here. Yeah, YouTube is going through some changes right now. Seem to be really cracking down on stuff. So I've received over the last 2 weeks 2 community guideline strikes. So that's not good, because if you get a third one, that not only nukes your YouTube channel, but it nukes your Gmail, your Google Voice, your Google Contacts, everything. So
does
any
it?
other yes,
Yeah.
any other channels associated with that email address.
I thought it was just supposed to be YouTube, because I remember there was an issue with Professor Peterson several years ago where also he got locked out of his Gmail for some reason, and people were like, "Oh, I'm like, this seems like BS." But as far as I understand, like the YouTube thing is only supposed to be for YouTube.
It nukes your entire Google account.
Does,
with the email
does it
associated.
say this?
Well,
Yeah.
Huh.
isn't that well, that
Kinda
has to
sounds like
be that has to be illegal because you can have your Google account on your Xbox with all your game purchases linked to it. So they would effectively be taking away games and stuff you bought.
So not only now, Wes, if what you're saying is true, and again, if you have the ability to redact and maybe send any of that to me or something, I would greatly appreciate seeing some of that. Just because from what you're describing there, again, I am not an attorney. This is not legal advice. But what it sounds like it's saying, it's like, all right, if you do something bad on a video platform, if we get rid of your channel since you've been naughty here, not only do you lose access to that, but it seems like a plethora of Google services, which many people use on a frequent and regular basis to cruise this internet of stuff and things. Now, I don't know. Does that kind of sound like monopolistic behavior, an oligopoly, an act of a trust, if you would?
Yeah, it really does.
I think it's time to bust some trusts.
Well, I seem to recall when you first had the strikes, like you would get a week, and then the second one was maybe like 3 weeks originally, and then they changed all that because the rules have changed. Now, your first strike, you get a week of not being able to stream, not being able to upload any videos. After that, you get 90 days on the second one, which it was never that high before. And that's just ridiculous.
I from my knowledge, and again, I haven't checked it in a little while. It's you get your complimentary shield once that shield is burned through at the moment. Then basically you're not allowed to stream, but I believe you're allowed to upload. But then after that, if you get another one, you're not allowed to do it for a week, or is it up to 30 or 90 days? Because it seems to be like rolling. And the reason they may have changed that is because if you get them within, I believe, a 3-month period or 90 days, that's when your channel goes bye-bye. So as long as you're at least able to have them roll off, it's less likely. But then if you start having the ex post facto behavior where it's like, all right, here's this video from like 5 or 6 years ago. Guess what? It now violates our terms of service. Here's a community guideline strike. It's like, I apologize. I do not have ESPN. Actually, I lied. I do.
Actually, I love how they'll give you a warning before the strikes, but that never goes away.
Yeah, your warning is permanent. I'd gotten one early on for a video I did that everybody else was talking about. It was right around the same time when everybody was talking about, milk is white, so milk is racist, and white walls are racist, and blah blah. So I made a joking video about it, and I used a fake character called LaSoy Woke. It was obviously a parody. Well, they went after me and they said it violated community guideline, and they gave me a warning, and they said this warning's never going away. Next time you do something like this, you're getting a strike. You're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Why was it that bad? Everybody else was talking about it. I don't see their videos being taken down. And what's going on, LDG?
What up, brother? Well, here's the thing, Remedy. And actually, what you just brought up, Tommy, I think that actually would solve a lot of issues, because you get that warning. You always have that warning. Again, like my metaphor for this is, it reminds me of Clash of Clans. After you get tacked, you get a shield. So how about one of those things? After you've been a good little boy, gal, dragon kid, whatever you identify as, you then get another shield, so you can continue to get warnings as long as it's not a frequent thing. It shouldn't be an issue. So that gives you an additional layer of protection. And the sheer fact, like, you shouldn't really be going back like really more than a year, in my opinion. And again, I'm not an attorney, to basically like do some crazy like rule necromancy and everything and be like, ha ha. It's like, no, that's not cool. If there's an issue with it, then take it down. Just or private it or something like that. Like, don't start like causing people potential loss of their livelihoods, because for some people this is their livelihood.
Yep.
So.
Well, here's the thing. YouTube. So YouTube, at Team YouTube, I have gotten many of the strikes reversed and overturned. I think out of the 5 strikes I've gotten 3 of them overturned. Well, now I'm on 6 strikes, and so a lot of times Team YouTube will take a look at it, and they had for a while there. people that would understand the context and they would overturn it. Well, I think those good people, and I used to call them the white hats, like spy versus spy, white hat, black hat. Well, I think now they've farmed it out to a different team, and those white hats aren't really looking at the content now, and so they're affirming the strikes. But the main thing is when you're fighting it, if the appeal doesn't go through, to find the section. Like there's a section that protects you against parodying something like the medical misinformation. You can parody things, and that's an exception to that. And the same with anything related to a national event where you have a ballot and select a leader. If you do parody on that, supposedly that's protected, but right now the people on Team YouTube are not overturning the strikes on those grounds.
All right. Well, I looked again, and now I'm seeing the one time I looked, I swear it said the second strike was 90 days. Now they're saying on this one, they're saying it's 2 weeks, and you're getting a 90-day, basically 90 days before it could be removed. So,
yes. So I've got till November 24th, I think. Isn't that fun?
It's just so ridiculous. And like, I don't know what happened with Paulie's channel. I don't know if he got his channel back up or not, but I know they had hit him with one as well, and they'd locked him out of his account. And I know he was supposed to do a live stream the other day, and he couldn't even do it because he was locked out of his account because whether it was false flagging or whatever it was, I'm just not sure.
That's one of the things that the white hats on Team YouTube, they actually DM'd me and they said, the reason we, basically in not so many words, they said somebody flagged your content. That's why you got the strike. So they're not giving a strike unless somebody is reporting it.
Well,
they don't have any automatic system. But I did have a chance to talk to Paulie, and he got 2 strikes. He beat one of them, and he DM'd me the offending video, and the offending video was not offensive and hilarious.
Oh, what's going on, Shellback? You got something you want to say?
Well, Paulie got dinged because it was a Mexican kid, and we can't have any POC children, looking like they're getting banged around or anything like that, and I told him, on Twitter, I'm like, if you would have used a white kid, it would have been fine, it's just because.
I think that falls more within the category of potential or simulated child abuse.
Yeah, no,
I think that was.
I guarantee it's because it was a freaking Hispanic kid. I guarantee it.
Oh, I didn't see the video.
Because if it was a freaking white kid, they probably, oh look, little whitey's getting what he deserves after 200 years of oppression or some bullshit.
I tend to think it's the kid.
It's kind of like my video. I made a video like two and a half years ago, whatever. I think I did it for like the 4th of July of 2019. And it's a bunch of hot ass girls, ladies, women, whatever you want to say, wearing American, the American flag, stars and stripes, bikinis, right? And I set it to the music of shit.
Wasn't it the Marine March?
This is what happens when you get old. No. Shit.
If this is the case, I'm going to get totally screwed for Piper dancing to Dragula.
Stars and Stripes Forever. I can't remember the guy's name right at the moment. But anyway, the song is Stars and Stripes Forever. And it's John
Philip Sousa.
Right.
John Philip.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Great tune.
Anyway, they age restricted it, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or something, and I haven't responded to them because I don't always have the internet available to me these days. But they age restricted something that anybody of any age can see on any beach, pretty much around the world. So, and
They're coming for
sorry
you.
for the siren.
The internet police are coming.
Yeah,
That's probably actually going to be a thing.
YouTube is
Yeah,
tracking.
no, that was a fire truck.
Now, Shellback, I'm going to say that as long as I didn't ding you for it, if they just age restricted it, to be fair to them, when I actually read through the link, because they sent me, because I was a bad boy. I was a bad boy. I got a community guideline streak. No. I'm
fair
going to
to them.
No, I'm going to be fair, because people don't want
be
to
a
hear this.
pinko commie bastard and be fair to them.
Hey, I've been
Fuck
called
that
the
shit.
nicest communist and anarcho-capitalist wife I'd ever met, as well as a sane Republican by my hippie D&D friends. It seems to depend upon the observer. But all I'm saying is, to be fair, what they have said there multiple times in many forms, if something is potentially on here for potential gratification, then it may violate the terms of services. No. They say this for many things. And all I know is if I'm reading that policy, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of content that's in violation of that.
Go find that video on my channel and tell me that you haven't seen that shit at the beach.
Oh no!
I remember that video. I want to say hello to Miss Martin. Miss Martin, did you want to weigh in on this?
Sure. I literally just was in the air on an airplane. I'm assuming you're talking about YouTube being complete douchebags.
Again, it seems like we were just here, what was that, 2 weeks ago? And here we are again.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any moral to the story, I guess I would just tell anyone who will listen, don't depend on YouTube. They keep moving the goalposts. And they will find a way to come for you. It's just the way it is. And it's not fair.
No, it most definitely is not fair, because you know what? I mean, I know there's a lot of people that have made this their career. Memes talked about it earlier. There's people that have made this their literal career. And whether it was on purpose, it was by design, or whether it was purely by accident, it has happened for a lot of people. There are a lot of bigger people out there, and it may not be the ad revenue that's putting them over. Because be honest, unless you're like millions of subs, that ad revenue amounts to absolutely nothing. You'd be lucky if you can go buy some dinged up freaking cans of soup at your local grocery market, what you're getting from YouTube for that. No, it's the super chats and everything else that a lot of these channels rely on to help get them by. And whether it's like their full income or whether it's just a subsidiary to their income, a lot of people, they almost expect it in a way, because they're spending so much of their time to put content out there. And it's not to say it's the hardest work in the world, but you know what? There is a lot of time and effort that actually goes into making videos and everything like that, if that's what you do on your channel. So, yeah, I mean, go ahead and add some more to that.
Well, I was just going to say, it's like it's a bad contract. They're acting in bad faith. You're minding your own business. Everything's going okay. You've maybe got, as you said, some modest income coming from this. And then they feck you over out of nowhere. And to me, it seems like a bad faith contract as well, because when you do have your channel removed or these weird strikes, they don't allow you to defend yourself. In any contract I've ever been into, verbal, nonverbal, whatever, you have a right to have your grievance heard. And the fact that they just say, nope, we've reviewed it, you suck, goodbye. Even people that have been doing it for 5 years, it's unconscionable.
Well, they who else did they hit? They demonetized, wasn't it SC Reviews that they demonetized recently too?
Yep.
Ord's Board.
And Ord's Board.
Awesome one. And Ord's Board, I don't know why I keep forgetting them. Stories by Irish, welcome, and Captain Trek. Thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. Go ahead, Wes.
Hail, Captain Trek. Yeah, just to add to what Ms. Martin Muse has said here, and the funny thing is, when you at Team YouTube and you ask them, and they'll say, we can't get into specifics. And I'm like, well, specifics are really pretty important if you want people to comply with your terms of service.
Yep.
You don't want to give a potential private. And again, go on.
But if they do that, then you'll figure out a way around it.
Well, but yeah, I mean, for a public video, I mean, it's pretty understood that it's going to be seen. But, I mean,
let me just make a quick point, and then I got to run. So, as the resident perceived Pinko Kami, are these not the modern means of production? I mean, I thought it was important to empower the people to be able to help earn an honest living. If you're going to deprive the people of the means of production, and according to Wes now, potentially even other internet services on Google, on this Internet stuff of things, to lose your Gmail over something, all I know is we had a Secretary of State who might not have been able to Secretary of State if that happened. So I love you all. Peace out. I actually got to run. I got to do a thing.
Thank you for coming, Memes. I'm glad you had a chance to come in and talk about this. You take care, buddy. I mean, and what he's saying there right there is absolutely true, though. I mean, because you could lose so much more than just a channel, so much more than just your place to be able to go and reach out to people and to talk to people and be able to, learn new things from somebody else that you normally wouldn't have been able to learn before, because it's a certain type of interconnectivity that this platform and so many other platforms like it actually give to us. And it's almost like they're saying, well, you can have all that, but you're going to have it on our terms as we change those terms. And another thing, when you're talking about this kind of stuff, like Wes was talking about, as far as the Gmail, that doesn't just affect these kind of things. It affects people's jobs, because some people may need a Gmail for their job. So how do they continue working now if they're going to have their Gmail taken away from them? If they create a new one, are they automatically going to hit that too because it's under the same IP?
Exactly. I will tell you this, that a lot of times when I get gigs, a la carte gigs, it's because people know my email. And if my email were taken away, people would have no way of getting in touch with me. And that's often how I get contracts, if you will. So, and especially the problem with it is sometimes they won't even tell you what you did. And it's like, you violated our terms. And it's like, well, what did I do? I've seen this happen so many times. And then they're like, well, why don't you just go and read them again? And it's like, I've read them. What did I do? And sometimes it says something as stupid as they've decided that something is misinformation that tomorrow might actually turn out to be true.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. At least with a copyright strike, and I've had my challenges with that. I've beaten every copyright strike I've ever gotten. The copyright strike will say, "This is the time that the offense happened. This is why we feel that you're infringing on our copyright. This is the person that is reporting you. Mm-hmm. This is the contact information for the entity that's striking you." With the community guideline strike, just some random asshole can go and report your channel for something, and if YouTube has a hate boner for the kind of content you make, you're screwed. There's no timestamp. There's no specific time where you violated the community guidelines. There's none of that. So you're in the dark. It's like, yeah, I've read it. I didn't violate your community guidelines. Okay.
Here's the root. Here's the root issue. Here's the root issue, Wes. They hate free speech.
They do.
And that's disgusting, because that's what this platform started out as. It started out as a public forum for free speech, for people to be able to interconnect with people from all over the world. And that was one of the things I never took away from platforms such as YouTube and Facebook and all the other ones, even Twitter to a degree. They give you the chance to interconnect with people that you normally wouldn't be able to talk to. I mean, people from not just all over the country you live in, but all over the world. And that in itself is amazing. But to be able to put, just put these limitations on it as they see fit, it kind of flies in the face of everything they created it for, though.
That's because they don't think that people can, look at something and go, oh, well, that's bullshit, or I don't agree with that, or whatever. and move on. They think that people are just a bunch of gullible shits, and they'll believe anything that they see, on social media. So, we have to protect these people from themselves, emotional or physical boo-boos in life.
Well, if they take your whole Gmail away, right? What if you have it linked to your Amazon account? That's the email you use for Amazon or something, and they have a bunch of gift cards and stuff linked to that email. If they nuke your, Gmail, then those gift cards and stuff are lost, I think.
Or what if you got it linked to your hospital and doctors, and they can't get a hold of you when they need to?
Yeah, that too.
Exactly. There's a lot of other things that this could lead to big problems for a lot of different people. So I mean, it's not right at all.
It's not.
We'll have to get a different
Well, I
email.
have to disagree with Shellback a little bit there, in that I don't think that they're trying to protect us. I think they're trying to protect themselves, and that they're unaccustomed to having a media platform where they don't have that control, and that scares them, and they're trying to reassert control through this censorship. And
Well, I mean, I was being a little bit sarcastic, but serious at the same time, because
yeah, I know.
I'm sure there are actually people in these companies that think that they need to, be, the almighty freaking censor of the internet, and like, if they don't agree with it, then it's wrong.
Hey, Maura.
Hey,
Meow,
Sugar,
Moira.
what's up?
Hey,
Not much. Talking about this nonsense with YouTube again.
Man, I gotta tell you, I've come back from TikTok land, and let me tell you what, YouTube is a lot more liberal under free speech than TikTok fucking is. Holy shit.
what? Really?
I'm serious. Some of my videos are getting flagged, and like for nothing. There was one video of me, like an old video from, like, how on Facebook they do the like memories. There was a video from like 2013 of me and someone else trying to do handstands against the wall, and they flagged it for dangerous activity. And then I tried to do a live stream on there asking if anybody was having issues with TikTok, and they flagged me for legal services and goods. And I'm like, what? Like, and then I posted a video where somebody was kind of doing like it was like a 30-second video of someone kind of making fun of the British taxing the Americas, and then someone dressed like in red, white, like a star-spangled suit came in and says America entering the fight or something like that. And that was it. And I was like laughing at the video, and that reaction or whatever got me flagged for illegal services and goods as well. So, like, you get flagged hardcore. All someone's got to do is have some bot account come in and report you, and you're shut down in a matter of seconds.
And that's part of the problem that we were talking about earlier, is like how many of these people are just going out there and false flagging.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt that they are, but for some reason it's absolutely out of control. I made a friend with a kid. Well, he's like 23. To me, that's a kid who's stationed in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and no shit, like, he was talking about his dislike of Biden on the live stream, and I was talking to him, and suddenly he's gone, and I'm like, uh-oh. And he messaged me and told me that his stream got shut down for sexual activity, and we're like, what? I mean, he had a shirt, he had pants. He wasn't talking about anything inappropriate, except that he just didn't like Biden, and that got flagged for sexual activity. And he was banned from streaming for a couple of days. It's the fucking craziest shit.
What was he talking about? Biden sniffing little girls?
No, no, he was talking about what a mess he had made of Afghanistan. Literally nothing to do with sex whatsoever.
Oh yeah, well no, yeah, well, yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't.
Well,
talk
I
about
understand it, but just like the labeling is
can't
weird.
talk about
like, not
dirty
in any way
man.
sexual activity. It's not. I mean,
The last thing
Yeah.
I want to think about is Biden and sex in the same
oh,
context.
jeez, now I'm gonna need another anxiety pill. Ah, yeah. True that. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, there's flagging all over the dang place. I mean,
What's going on, Luffy?
Maybe,
Maybe this is a distraction. So YouTubers are busy talking about this and not Biden's handling of Afghanistan. Big tech works with Democrats. That is always a very
TikTok is full of those videos talking about what a mess Biden has made. They can't get them all. They'd have to shut the whole system down. But they'll still tag you for dumb shit, like literally handstands against the wall, and I got flagged for dangerous activity. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like what?
Well,
Well, so far they haven't nailed me for my pink bunny suit singing "A Lap Dance is So Much Better When the Stripper's Crying."
Well, I want to take a pause real quick. Stieg has got to jump out. Stieg, let him know where you're heading over to.
Yeah, I'm heading over to Maura's stream. I'm a co-pilot on her, what is it called, Weekly Cringe or something? Cringe Factory. Yeah. Used to be on Wednesdays, but now since she's in school or something, it's on Fridays. So I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Awesome. If somebody could drop Jade Shadow's link in there in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on, though, and thank you to everyone in the chat and everyone on the panel.
Always a pleasure. Yeah, always welcome.
Take care and be well, all of you.
Always a pleasure, Stig.
We'll see you, Steve.
But oh my god, I mean, some of this shit though. I mean, like all these people they keep hitting. Like DBS was talking earlier about they hit Paulie. I know, and that was one of the people I was actually talking about early on. And I don't know if you're still here, DBS, but I don't know. Did anybody say that if his situation was resolved, Shellback?
The last thing I heard was that stream that he was going to do, he ended up having to switch it over to Midnight's Edge Espanol. So I don't know about.
Thank you, Curtis.
I don't know about Latino Slant Channel, whether it's, if there's anything different.
It's just so ridiculous. And like Wes has been a major target for YouTube for quite a while. Like every time he gets these strikes, he's finding ways to get rid of most of them. But the minute he starts to get rid of one, they hit him with another one. And it's just a never-ending cycle of nonsense with them. And whether this is people targeting them, and if it is people targeting, it's the same people. Once that strike is taken away, those people shouldn't be allowed to sit there and target the same people again. And I'm pretty sure some of that might be it, too.
Well, I mean, we should know who, I'm assuming that whoever is reporting has a YouTube account. It would be nice if it was like the copyright strikes and that whoever reported you, their screen name showed up. I mean, it'd be kind of nice. That way I know who I'm offending.
Yeah, but
it's like you have a right to face your accuser, don't you?
Well, I mean, in a constitutional system, you do.
Well, they don't want that because then they don't want you harassing the people that are harassing you. See,
what's up, Christy? Christy comes in with boobs, trying to light the conversation.
Oh, I was looking around for straight boobs. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, Death by Saber says, I think the Paulie situation is still going on. He can't upload videos. Yeah, and he can't have live streams either.
Yeah, I can't upload a video on TikTok until sometime tomorrow, they told me, is a punishment for that video. It's one of those things where you can, you think someone else's video is funny, you can duet it, so you're kind of sharing it and your reaction. And the original video is not taken down, so there was nothing wrong with it. And it was just me kind of nodding my head and kind of chuckling a little, just to show I thought it was funny.
TikTok is just there for the Chi-Coms to keep an eye on us anyway.
True that, but it's also a good way of finding other people in Oklahoma, so that way I can try to appeal to their humor and try to get myself seen because I'm a broke-ass bitch trying to run for office.
What up, Tim?
I'm just a broke-ass bitch.
How you doing, Christy?
Good.
Hey, Christy.
So, what's the I know, am I echoing?
I hear something in the background.
That's so weird. I hear myself. But anywho.
It might be more and more might have a small echo going.
Okay, whatever. It is what it is. But so, what's the status with the YouTube account, Wes? Because I'm just now popping in. So, is it still 2 strikes?
I have 2 strikes. Both of the strikes were community guideline strikes. Both of the strikes were for content that was unlisted. So whoever reported it had to have been subscribed to the channel with the specific purpose of looking for content they can flag.
Ugh. It's terrible.
I mean, you don't have to have a YouTube account. I think you have to have a Google account. Or do you have to have a YouTube account?
Well, I mean, to see your unlisted content, they either had to have gotten the link from Twitter, which would take them directly to it, or they would have to be subscribed to the channel to be able to look at the unlisted content. So, yeah, I mean, what's interesting about that is that I mean, once I started mass unlisting videos, that's when I got the strikes.
Jesus.
And by the way, I learned something new because I'd gotten some advice that if you unlist your old live streams, that'll help with your sub count. Well, it did. But if you look at the monetization tab, my watch hours went from 6,000 down to 1,000, so that didn't help me.
What I heard, what you're supposed to do, Wes, now this is what I heard. You don't unlist them, you privatize them.
Yeah, I would. No, either way, it takes away from the hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
I heard privatization of your videos wasn't supposed to.
No,
I tried that, and a bunch of my hours just went. Phoom.
Yeah, I was like 1,000 hours. Oh man.
That's about what happened to me, but I already turned my monetization off because it was a bunch of bullshit. They kept stealing money. I was like, you know what? I have better things to worry about than this shit. Really, I haven't even hardly streamed in a long time.
Same.
Well, I keep hearing that if you use the Subscribe Star, that's actually a little bit more friendly than some of the other services. I mean, and of course you have Stream Elements too that you could use.
Well, here's with Stream Elements though, it kind of pulls with PayPal, and so unless you have I have 2 PayPal accounts. One is like the one I use is in my name and my full name, but the other one is another one. Like that's a separate personal. That's a really personal account. So, but I don't know.
Sup, Slasher?
It just depends. I think sometimes people forget you can set up PayPal's where it doesn't show your name.
I did not know that, to be honest.
Neither did I when I set it up.
When I set it up, though, I never really thought I'd be like YouTube, doing anything that. But of course, now I'm in a situation where it really doesn't matter because people kind of need to know my name. So
Well, Luffy, and this is actually one of the things I was talking about before, where I would have comments yeeted off my my videos before, I would get the tab saying, oh, so and so left a comment on your video. I'd go to click on it and it was already gone. And it's the same thing right here. Actually, Google Mods have access to all our channels. I've had Google Mods following me many times deleting comments, and I've had that same thing happen, and it's just ridiculous. It's like if it's not people that are outside of Google, YouTube, and Alphabet targeting people, it's people that are actually within Google doing it, because we all remember the nonsense with the Google moderators. I know Christy does.
Hell, that's the reason why I don't moderate it half the time anymore, is literally saying subscribe to Miss Martin Muses, Shellback, West Moody Webcast, Moira Kitty, Tommy and DJ. That would get deleted by a Google mod.
I've seen hellos get deleted. And you're
same.
Yeah.
Hello, really? That's where we're crossing the line now? Really?
Yeah, and I don't know what you did, Christy, because whenever you're on my channel when I'm live, you don't show up or something.
Nope.
And I have doubled and tripled and quadrupled checked, and trust me, I have not blocked you. You're the last person I would. So
she said, "Kiss my grits" one too many times, and they're like,
probably.
"Oh my God."
I just for me, I think when I was streaming, because people would get deleted, sometimes they would get timed out on my streams. Only reason why I think that is because I have a lot of curse words banned in the chat, and the only reason why I had that is because for a time and there were people. There's a lot of people that don't like Stieg, and so when he would be on a stream and he would come on, and then he would say he's coming on my stream, then I would just get obliterated with spammers and stuff. Oh my god! I remember one Walmart stream. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons I just kind of quit. I was like,
same. I like listening to y'all more
during the day. So, and evening was more the time I would stream. So, yeah, they knew what things they could get away with. So they put like the start of a bad word, like the first letter in one, and then and just spell it out long down the stream, like one letter.
Well, that's why I turned around and I removed all the restrictions off my comment section on my channel. I just removed them all. I was like, the hell with it. Just let everything go through. If it's that bad, I'll deal with it myself. I'm just tired of YouTube taking an overreaching hand into some of the comments I'm getting that have absolutely no problems whatsoever. There's nothing wrong with them. Like, for example, I'm not creative. I did a short video talking about a happy birthday to Twinkie. So we're talking about a stupid snack cake. And they started striking his comments because he used the word Twinkie in it, talking about he loved that snack cake. And that's just like ridiculous.
Gosh. Well, I wonder what they would do for Ding Dong.
Hey.
Ho-hos? Damn ho-ho.
Dude,
Language.
I typed boobs in the chat. I started doing that just because I could say hello, it would get deleted. I could say, how are you doing? It gets deleted. I say boobs, nothing.
So and speaking of those trolls, apparently they'll censor some of the words you use, but apparently they don't have any censor on the kind of account name you can have, which is shock. Like, you let that name get away? Okay, really? Because, I mean, obviously this channel would get shut down if I said the names of those accounts.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I know, Curtis. Yeah, I'm Not Creative 22 gets hit all the time. And he's one of the people that tells me he'll like my videos and he'll come back to, maybe rewatch it or maybe check something else on my channel and he'll see that the like he left is gone. And he'll have to re-like it sometimes 2, 3, maybe even 4 times.
Oh, hell, I've seen the dislikes I leave disappear too.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Well,
What's up, Jens?
They're all a bunch of douche canoes. What can I say?
Douche canoes.
Come on, Teresa, you know
I tell you, I'm just feck it all. I've tried to be a nice person. It just doesn't work.
What's going on, LDJ?
Nice people finish last, unless you're better. What's going on? Hi, Tommy. Hey, everybody.
That's what she said.
Hey, LDG.
You knew I had to get a little piece of this. It's like my favorite. I might not be able to talk pop culture, but give me some freedom of speech. Oh, man. Oh, I'm ready for it.
How many times are we going to hear the word Prometheus? That's all I want to know.
We don't need to. We don't need to. People know what I'm about. People know I'm all about free the net. And I've been working 5 months on a platform where we're going to make Section 203 or whatever the fuck it is work for us.
230.
Because I'm not going to censor nothing. Okay? I'm building a platform for that, for us, for everyone. I'm sick and tired of this shit. I'm done. But at the same time, I get everything you guys are saying. And we should kind of snap our fingers and force YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and all the fucking shit ass platforms that parade as a freedom of speech platform, but they're really just corporate media publishers.
Publishers, yeah.
That's exactly what they are.
You know what, LDG, I agree with that to an extent, but if that's the case, then they shouldn't be covered under Section 230 or Article 230. That should be taken away from them, and they should not be getting the benefits of that anymore then.
Agreed, but because nobody yet has a true public platform, if that happened, they'd most likely tuck tail and run, and we could wake up tomorrow with no platforms. They have to have it for now until one platform comes out and proves and makes them what they actually are. And then maybe they'll lose their protection. But for now, if they lose their protection, we're done.
Yeah.
We're
they
all
want to be
done.
both. They want to be both, and it's both. Shit.
I don't think they want to be both, because you can't be wanna free speech and not wanna free speech at the same time.
No, I'm
You
talking
can't
about
do that.
platform versus publisher, whatever the fuck. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A publisher, which is not freedom of speech, and a true public forum where it lets anybody speak without consequence. Yes, you can't be both, but we need to promote, we need to help somebody to create a platform that gives us that right now. That's what we need. We need something like that. Minds isn't it. Odyssey isn't it. They might be close. They might be better. They might be the better of two evils, but we don't have a platform, a true public platform. It doesn't exist yet. Why? Because those in charge are corporations. You don't have somebody who's been doing computers for over 20 years and it's what he loves or she loves. And it's actually building a true platform and using technology to unlock the net for the user, not for the fucking corporation or the shareholder. And that's what you see now. You see people with a lot of money hiring people like me to create dark side apps and websites that only look out for themselves. That's what you see right now.
DBS wants to know, can I upload my grape video, aka Liam Neeson interview, on your platform?
So
and
here's the thing.
Curtis makes a good point, though. They pretend to be a public. Yeah, they do. They pretend to be a public platform. They pretend, they fake it, and then when they want to act like they're still a free speech platform, they run back to Article 230 and say, "Oh no, we're protected." But yeah, you can't have it, but you cannot have your cake and eat it too. And that's one of the things that a lot of these politicians that are allowing corporations like YouTube to just get away with it. They shouldn't be able to get away with it.
Encouraging them to do it.
Yes.
Well, I don't get it either, because if 230 protects them, right? And this is why, one of the reasons why I'm doing my website, because they come to me, I'm gonna be like, 230. Sorry, I'm not taking down that person's content. 230. Fight me. Okay? And that's what I'm doing with platform. I want to blow basket.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Holy shit. I love that one.
Well, no, I think that you're
there are so many
right.
things.
You're exactly right, because if we could have allegedly put someone on the friggin' moon, then by golly, why can't we build our own friggin' website? I can't. I suck at that kind of stuff.
Well,
but there's a lot of smart people out there, or your own platform. Like there's some douche kind of billionaire guy who gives zero fucks, but he wants to make money. Pardon my French. Oh my gosh. Go out, and we need a millionaire, gazillionaire to do this, and who is also powerful enough to tell them all to take a flying leap.
Yep. That's what we need. The only problem is I'm not a billionaire yet.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is like, where's that Elon Musk out there? Instead of sending people to space, build us an alternate.
Well, Elon Musk. Okay, wait. On his behalf, he actually is doing this. He's trying to create. Okay, so this is the one. This is the problem. This is the fallacy people don't get. Okay, this isn't a platform.
Changed my mind.
Okay, the platform is the internet. That is the platform.
Jesus, it's only the biggest goddamn hole in the world.
And Elon Musk is trying to create a new worldwide platform with the satellite internet. So he is trying to do something. He might not make the software, the means to get onto to have like a Facebook or YouTube, but he's doing the infra to create a worldwide web.
I kind of question.
Wi-Fi.
I kind of question that man. Because he has had dealings with Amber Heard.
Amber Turd, get it right, Chillback. What's going on, Master of the TDS? Greetings. Thank you for coming. Tina Bojan, Gino tried with Parlor, and the corp world bit back. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so and we need to build our own internet. Well, that's one of the things that LDG is talking about doing, is that he wants to have his own platform free of everything
the
else.
thing, though. Here's
I'm not the biggest
doesn't
fool in the
make
world.
sense.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Here's
Got
what
tape
doesn't
measure?
make sense, though. if they allowed everybody, if it was full on, free speech, anybody can put out whatever the fuck they want.
Yep.
How? I mean, everybody and their uncle would want to go to whatever that is, be it YouTube
Yes.
or whatever. You
Yes.
know. So why doesn't YouTube, allow that? Because
Money.
if they did, everybody would want to be here. Even more people would want to be here.
Yes.
Well, because they
but
want
so-
power. They want to control. They don't care.
They want to control it, the information, and to build. Okay, the reason why Parler failed is because they didn't actually make a public forum. Okay, all they did was make another Facebook with different rules.
Right.
And Big Corp can stop that.
Yep.
A true public platform, Amazon can't stop it, Google can't stop it, nobody can stop it if you make it a user end program. The second you're trying to do this, play the rules everybody else is playing with servers and hosting. Remember, the server client is just a model. That's not how websites are supposed to act. Okay? That's just one server type, and people can block that.
Death by Saber says, "HootaTube will be the name of my platform. LDG, what will be the name of your platform? And will you go public so I can buy shares of Robinhood app?"
No, I can't. No, thank you for bringing that up. Great point. First of all, it's Project Prometheus. Okay. Second of all, it's not a business. A true public platform will never succeed if it is a business, meaning it will never go public. No one will be in control of it, including me.
I love this though. Musknet.
Musknet. Oh God, that's funny. That just sounds so.
Captain
No,
Trek,
Musknet.
Captain
Yeah, I
Trek,
am.
welcome. Did you have something you wanted to add to this conversation, sir?
Well, no, I was just you were talking about the Google being or YouTube being a public forum, and of course it is because they have more editing control that way. They don't want it to be free. Never have.
But I mean, the problem is that that's what they started off as, though. That's what they claimed initially.
That's what they claimed. Yeah, you're right.
They're liars.
Yep.
LDG.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta bail, Tommy. I have some cats that are having nervous breakdowns here. I've been gone, and so I need to take care of them. But thank you so much for having me on, and I apologize for my language. I've been feeling very passionate right now, especially with everything going on in the world right now.
No, it's all good. I don't really moderate those things, but I gotta tell you, you're getting ready to leave. So
Where do you think you're going? Nobody's leaving. Nobody's walking out on this fun old-fashioned family Christmas. No, we're all in this together.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Well, now I didn't know that it's like the Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Apparently.
yeah, apparently you didn't know that. I thought you knew that when you got nibbled in.
He's learning.
No, it's always a pleasure when you're on, Miss Martin. I do appreciate you coming on. Do you have anything coming up?
I'm going to be on OG Star Wars' channel tomorrow for the X-Wing, and maybe a return to my morning, midday, and mid-afternoon musings. So just stay tuned on my channel.
Awesome. Make sure somebody could be so kind as to drop Miss Martin's link in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you stop by and subscribe to her channel. She is an awesome individual, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening, everybody.
Take care.
Okay,
Take
bye.
care. Be good.
Oh, hey.
Oh, I gotta
You know
fix
what?
something real quick.
It's just one of those things, though. Every day I keep hearing about somebody else that's gotten hit, and I keep wondering who's next. Who's going to be next?
We're all next.
Yeah,
That's the
I
problem.
agree.
Yeah, but it does seem ridiculous how they're doing it, though. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to how they're doing it.
Well, no. That's the beauty of it. Okay. OnlyFans, take a freaking notes from YouTube. You don't moronically come out with a statement saying you're going to drop everybody. You do it like YouTube. You do it randomly, where people get dropped one by one without notice, without warning, without recompense, whatever. That's how YouTube's doing it. They're doing it the smart way. Because if YouTube just came out and said, this is how things are going to be, there'd be a mass exodus, just like OnlyFans.
Well, I mean, I think here's the difference between OnlyFans and YouTube. OnlyFans did it and they announced it and people walked away. But as they changed their policies again, people might go back to it. Now, if YouTube just slowly just gets rid of people, those people that are silently being axed, they're not going to come back. At no point, even if YouTube changes their rules. Because I've already heard about people that have gotten so fed up with YouTube that they never plan on coming back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But that's what YouTube wants. That's why it's because, okay, remember, for every person that leaves YouTube, they get like another one that gains it, right? So there's this influx of new YouTubers every day. And all the you losing are the older YouTubers. They're not losing the new YouTubers. They're losing the old ones. Just this is the whole thing about Star Trek. They don't make good Star Trek for Star Trek fans because we're a dying race. The young ones outnumber us. And there's just more coming. There's more young people coming. More.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that, though. I mean, the thing with that is they don't care about it. I mean, the numbers on these shows show that they
want money. They want money. They want money. What else do we want? Money. And they don't want enough money to feed their family. Because I'll be happy with that. You give me enough money to feed my family for life, I'm done. I'm good. Thank you. Check, please. They want enough money to fucking build a new world order. Yes, I see the DM. Give me a minute. I will switch in a minute. Here, Lord. Fuck. Okay?
But the problem,
I can't over push this. I gotta go gradually move to it. All right, you guys will find out what we're talking about in a second.
Of course.
But that's what it is, Tommy. It's over one-sided, over capitalistic greed. And it's about time we change that because you know what? You know, you guys want to talk about something, and it's something I don't like to talk about Prometheus, but this is one of my goals, right? Universal income. Nobody can figure out how to do a universal income model without the government paying for it, correct?
The government don't pay for shit. We do.
Yeah,
no tangent. Just follow me. Humor me, please. Right? That's what everyone's bitching about. And have universal income without the government paying for it. Well, I wonder if we had a system that could, I don't know, pay people for the information they give out in the first place instead of signing it away and getting it for free. What a thought. What if all that information that you give out, you all give out for free, whether it be your cell phones, your browser habits, what you shop for, what TV shows you watch, all that information, and there's a lot of it, right? It's called metadata.
You don't give it, they take it.
What if? Yeah, because you give them permission. You sheep. Everyone sheeps to give that information out for free. You do it every single time. This is why I say, how many YouTubers click OK to the terms and conditions given as an ultimatum and you don't agree? I would say about 70% of YouTubers do not agree with the terms of service that they click agree on.
I would say
what if we had a
higher.
platform that could take that
Every
information,
website's like that.
lock it
If you
down,
wanna use it, you
and
have to
sell
agree.
it back? Well, because that's why I call it ultimatum. It's not really terms and conditions. Terms and conditions are something you both agree on. You both have
And just
input
for the
on.
record, I want a Tesla. I want to drive a Tesla now for some reason. I don't
I love
know
a
why.
Tesla. Sure, go ahead. But we could sell that information. Do you know that Facebook makes $35 per user without any other benefits? We're not talking about ads, revenue, and all that other stuff. Just base. Just by having an account, they're making $35 off you per month. Now, imagine how many social apps you have. What if you got paid $35 a month minimum for every platform you're on per month? And that's information you can look it up.
That's the way it should be, because if you are providing them a stream of revenue, it's almost as if you were an employee of theirs.
You're working for them. You're giving them so much more. Not to mention the posts, the blogs, the content that you're giving them, but the information that you're giving them, the metadata. It is valuable. It is so valuable. It's getting sold for billions of dollars online right now, and you're not getting a dime of it.
It's almost like piracy.
If
really,
they paid
when you
us,
think
they
about it.
wouldn't be able to make any money, right?
Oh,
yes, they would. That's
They
bullshit.
make
That is
they make
bullshit.
so much money, it's ridiculous. I mean, if
Yes.
we knew the amount of money that these corporations really make, I
Yes.
mean, there's a reason why certain corporations, even though they're not making as much as they used to, they are still making enough money to be able to stay in business. And Activision
Plenty.
Blizzard is one of those companies, and they hide all their numbers because they don't want you to know how much they're still making off all the users of their services. So yeah, they would make plenty of money. No, I know
They
you
make
did,
plenty of
Shellback,
money.
but it just drives me nuts, because there are people that think like that. They legitimately believe that these companies are not going to make money if they're not doing that, and that's bullshit. It's absolutely
It is
bullshit.
bullshit.
What's going on, JJ?
Well, you told me to get my ass up here. Here I am. I don't have nothing to offer or to add to it. I'm just following orders.
Man, last time I heard about
you
people
get so
following orders,
bad.
it didn't end well.
Real quick, it's so
LDG,
bad
please,
out there
no,
that I'm wondering if I'm actually considering if I could make money on OnlyFans with this filter alone.
Go take the lipstick off, please.
Oh man, that is the ultimate catfish. I say do it.
You think so?
That's a straight up catfish if ever I've seen it. Hook me up,
You know,
brother.
I look pretty
need
good.
money.
I look pretty good, don't I? I date myself.
I don't know if you put a multicolored background.
Look, I got two
Hashtag
things men want:
OnlyFans.
hot chick and hot food. You couldn't ask for better. All right. I mean,
Don't forget the cold beer.
Change the
You
voice.
add that.
Oh my
Surf
god.
and turf back
Gotta
there.
work on the voice. Hey, big boy. Hi, Tommy. Thanks for having me on.
And I decided to come up here. Thanks, LDG. Appreciate that.
You can thank Deej. Deej is the reason why I'm doing this right now.
Okay, it's official.
I'm always stirring the pot,
LDG
folks. I'm
is-
always
Fuck you,
stirring the
Pete.
pot. Yeah, there we go. I got a fuck you.
LDG
Deej.
is Wild Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Okay. Right, would you
Is
do
that
it?
even a number?
Okay.
What? Are you talking to me? Number?
No, I'm looking at I'm talking about what Tommy's got highlighted. Is that supposed to be 2,288 or 22,880?
Yeah, you get.
I don't know.
Too many digits.
Oh, Google is that to
Yeah, the commas in a pro.
share en mucho dinero. Oh, you mean Google's stock? You're
Yeah.
talking about Google's stock? Okay, it's like 22,000 that maybe. Or
Yeah.
something.
It's 2,000. It's 2,808 right now.
Gotcha.
But even that per share, that is extremely high for a company that
But
really
I-
doesn't deserve it for the way they rip people off. And that's where you're talking about, where they have the money. I mean, they're making that much off each share. What is the average stock usually going for? A few $100s or so, mostly.
Depending on what
I
it
wouldn't be
is.
able to tell, but I would say so.
Yeah, depending on what it is. You can find stock for $5 a share. You can find stock for $500 a share. It's just depending on what it is.
freaky midget chicks.
Hey, I ain't got nothing wrong with midget chicks. It's just as long as they ain't below, 4'7".
Uh-oh.
The only time I have a problem with midget chicks is with quicksand porn. 'Cause that's orgasm on a timer.
Do you want to hear an interesting story about midget chicks? So I was at work and I was driving, right? And there's there's an area in Sacramento that's kind of known for having hookers. And I was driving through there and I was like, isn't that the little girl from like Total Recall? And I was like, no, it couldn't be. There's a midget hooker. Okay, so then I read in the paper an obituary, right? And she died. Apparently she had an overdose and took a turn for the worse, and that was her. She was legit. I was like, no way. That's one of the few close. Yeah, it was.
For real? That woman died?
What?
Diversifying her portfolio, Wes.
Did she die?
Yeah, she did, and she actually lived in my area. So it turns out that the midget chick that was out there that played a hooker in Total Recall was actually legit hooking on Watt Avenue in Sacramento.
Wow. Okay, that picture's wrong. She was kind of hot too back in the day. Sorry,
No, it's okay.
It was a lookalike. It was a lookalike.
You'd think it would be like that's shocking, but you never know. You never know.
Never know.
I mean, I didn't know Tim Russ was in Spaceballs until like 20 years later.
I like Little Women. Makes me feel tall.
Wow.
Well,
JJ.
I'm only 5'9", man.
wrong.
Come on.
Well, what's Walton's excuse? He goes after those big, tall sequoia trees.
I like the little ones too, and so they don't have to bend over for me. What the hell?
The thing I like about them is they can't block the TV when you're trying to watch the game.
Oh, what's going on, Chris?
All right,
Hey,
I gotta
Chris,
stop this.
what's up?
I gotta stop this. I can't.
Yeah, you do.
He can't take himself serious anymore.
I can't. I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I give up.
That's it.
Move out of that seat and I'll split your lip.
Oh my God. Okay.
Beverly.
Hey, how's it going, Mads?
Hey, Mama Bear.
Oh, what's going on, Mama Bear?
Hey, good morning, Yvette. Or early evening, late evening.
Hey, Mads. I need to give you a makeover.
1:13, so
Absolutely. Anytime.
Hello, Mama Bear.
Hey, did y'all
Go
see
ahead.
that? Did y'all see that drawing that Rosetta did and said that it was mad? It was like a death by snoo drawing of Mad's Mama.
By
Bear.
snoo.
Death
No,
by
I want to see it. Damn it. I'll remind her next time she comes on my channel.
I can't really tell because usually, don't get me wrong, Rosetta is showing that she does have a talent, but they pretty much all look the same to me. Sorry, I've noticed that they're all starting to look pretty much the damn same. She's stuck in the pin-up mindset.
See, now I'm wondering if I'm going to see a three-titted woman on Watt Avenue.
All right.
You know what? You can always hope. You can always hope.
Yeah.
It's not
But
if
you know
it's
what?
when.
See,
Here's my
I
question.
used to
though.
cheat.
Why
So if you get drunk enough, you can make any woman four-titted.
Why did he want three hands though? I mean, one for one hand, one for the other hand, and then one for the mouth. It's like, why was he wishing for three hands? I don't know.
What's up, Snow Dub?
Oh, Dub. What's going on, buddy? Where's Jolly? Justice
He actually-
for Jolly.
Thank you. He actually shortened his name.
No,
Well,
live.
that's the second channel.
That's the other
damn.
channel.
Damn it.
Which is smart,
My
by
bad.
the way. I've been noticing my videos on my other channel getting way more impressions than my primary channel.
Why? Because it's longer or shorter?
No clue.
Okay, you didn't quite answer the question the way I was asking it. Which
One
channel?
second. Read the private chat.
Okay. Yes, boss.
There you go.
10-4.
There's a reason.
10-4.
Yeah, that's something I was actually looking at eventually. I was thinking about moving a lot of my older live streams into a private folder. Just yeah, it doesn't matter anymore because they're so old that they wouldn't show up for watch hours anyway at this point, so who cares? But yeah, Jolly is in Vegas, coke and hookers. No, I'm telling you, I think Snowdub's onto something. I think Jay had something to do with it, and I was talking about it early on. Jay's puppet phobia. I love Jay, but yeah, he's got it out for the puppets. Got to watch out for that.
No, so does
puppet phobia
Yvette.
allowed.
Yvette can't take the puppets, man. I swear.
Virtual or otherwise?
Any.
I mean, otherwise, I sit here like this and it freaks her the fuck out.
Especially with that fucking neck that frog has.
Hey, look what it is. Hey ho, Kermit the Frog here. Oh, hey, no, stop.
No puppet
That's
abuse.
why.
Just take it, Deej. Just take it.
That's why she don't like puppets. Right there.
Yeah.
Snowdub says he's
You're
going.
lucky you're not over here, Deej.
Sorry.
Yeah, right there, Maura.
Hairball.
Somebody got greedy.
And by the way, this is the closest I can get, Tommy. I don't think I have anything better than this. This is the best I can do right here.
That's a rabbit.
It's a
It's
rat.
still a cute little
Is
fluffy
it a rabbit or rat? Rat rodent?
That's a rabbit.
Well, it's so
It's a rabbit.
big. Well, if it's a rat, you know the head's
Really?
too
How
big.
big is it, AJ?
It's not that big, so get your head out of your ass.
Jesus, it's only the biggest goddamn hole in the world.
Sorry, Tommy. I know you was trying to be serious and all, and I just came in and wrecked shop.
Oh, so here we go. I had the wrong one. Here we go. This is the
That
one.
was wrecking
Right?
shop.
I'm a rodent.
Yeah, that's more
Now,
rodent.
now you look like a donkey on acid.
Actually, he looks like one of those scenes from that movie Witches back in the early 90s. Am I the only one that saw that fucking movie? Seriously?
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
That Angelica Houston and it's these two kids. And they take this potion or fed something. They turn into little mice. Never mind.
No, the only movie close to it I ever seen was Stuart Little.
What about the that new Suicide Squad with the rat and that?
It fucking sucked, dude. That whole movie was 2
Right.
hours and X minutes a waste of my time that I cannot.
I'll tell you
go
what,
back.
JJ.
The little bit I saw did a better job than the last movie.
I watched it again, JJ. I don't know. The more I watch, the
I'm
more
sorry.
it's growing on me. It reminds me of
Dude.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, because nowhere in Guardians of the Galaxy you got a fucking wrestler with a toilet bowl on his head.
What the?
Hey,
You know what
here's
though?
my
I've
question.
heard that
How
complaint
classy
before.
are we that we have a glory hole in the chat?
I know. I love it.
What?
I love it. No, JJ.
Yeah,
you know what though? I've heard that complaint
Oh,
before,
son
but
of a
no
gun.
matter what the complaint is on that, I'm sorry. That is very close to being comic book accurate.
All right, wait a minute now. Okay, before this goes any further, all right, I'm not a big comics fan. I don't read books. Most of you that know me know this. You know, these movies are my comics. If I decide I'm going to watch them, I wasn't planning on watching Suicide Squad. I didn't see the first one, and I really didn't want to see the second one. But I know who Harley Quinn. I know who Harley Quinn is. Okay, that's a given. I know who that is. The animated series. Okay. Harley was the only good part of that movie, as far as I'm concerned. The rest of it was shit.
I like Polka Dot Man. No, I'm joking. Yeah,
that is fucking stupid, man. Come on, that's an acid trip personified.
You know, I like King Shark too. I thought that was Sylvester Stallone's best performance.
I like the little
Understand them a
rat.
lot better.
Well, yeah, he ain't too bad because he died at the beginning and you saw him at the end. That was pretty cool. You didn't see no more of him after that.
No, not the weasel, the rat, the little rat.
Oh yeah, that girl and fuck all that. That was
I like
stupid
the little
too.
rat, though.
I personally think that was what's his name?
I'd be happy if she shot her.
Acting, yeah.
Yeah, but
that
you know,
character was throwaway character.
I'm sorry, dude. That girl couldn't have been any better unless she shot a laser beam out her asshole.
Well, I'm not talking the girl. I didn't really give a shit about her. I just like the little rat because he reminded me of Baby Groot.
Nah.
Reminded me.
I'm telling
It
you,
was a rat, man, not a toothpick.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think that's a lot of things that people are missing. There were a lot of parallels to the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, for those of us who watched both of them, or maybe even liked both of them, you could see a lot of the parallels, and mostly that's because that's James Gunn's style, apparently.
Yep.
But I seen it like the first time I watched it. I was like, God, this feels like a Guardians of the Galaxy. The way everything was paced in the movie, and the way the characters were introduced. Yeah, King Shark was very much like the Groot character. He didn't say a whole lot. I mean, granted, he had a lot more dialogue than Groot, and then
and he did a lot more.
What's the rat's name now?
I don't know. I think it was like Sebastian or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but it reminded me very much of Rocket in a way. Granted, without any lines, or maybe even Baby Groot, like Deej is saying. But there were a lot of parallels.
Rat catcher.
The shark reminded me of Batista's character, and the rat chick reminded me of Groot. Because once she was doing nothing forever, and then she
because I was
finally
going
did something. She exploded. You know what I mean? She became the most powerful character at the end.
That's something I was about to ask. Who would you consider basically the Drax character, either King Shark or Cena's character, because of how buff he is. Because that's the only thing you can really describe it upon. They
don't have to be the same.
I loved. I got to say this about the movie. I loved Idris Elba's part.
Bloodsport.
And to him, yeah. I love this gadgets, man. I just love tech.
And once again, that's taking it back to Guardians of the Galaxy, because they made him feel very Star-Lord like.
Yeah.
Same thing with all the tech, because the original Bloodsport didn't really have tech like that in the comic books. So I mean, once again, this is why I make the parallels to Guardians of the Galaxy also, because much like the comic books, this was altered. It wasn't altered so much that you couldn't recognize the characters, but it was altered enough that they weren't exactly the same as they were in the comics. And that's the same thing that Guardians of the Galaxy, they altered the characters where you could definitely recognize them, but they weren't exactly like they were in the comics.
Well,
yeah, I know that kind of sucked too, DBS, that they killed off Captain Boomerang, but I mean, Captain Boomerang really was always like a lower tiered villain.
Me and LDG always seem to be ending up in a same similar conversation like this, and this is why I've had to look at it. Whether he agrees with me or not is a different story. When you watch these movies, regardless what you like or dislike, it doesn't matter. When you watch these movies, and they're not basically comic book accurate, they change some things, no matter how minor, they always change some shit. But then the comic book readers are upset about it. Okay? You'll never find one of these comic book movies going to be book accurate.
And you shouldn't have those kind of, expectations either. I mean, I think that we expect them to at least adhere to the ideals of the character that were in the books, to somewhat look like them so we could recognize them. beyond that, I mean, if you take certain liberties, it can be expected. Because even with the Peacemaker's character, his character's slightly different than he was in the comic book. So,
Well, see, that's just the thing. I don't even remember dude's name, so thank you, Peacemaker.
and then if you look at the old comic books, though, JJ, that outfit is almost spot on to what he looked like in the original comics. Now, granted, the original comics, the helmet was a little bit more ridiculous looking. They actually toned it down for the movie.
Well, but still, there's just some things you should leave out. You know, or if you're going to give me my helmet, give me my helmet that looks halfway respectable instead of a fucking soup bowl or a toilet bowl or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, it's like, you know what? There's a great marketing thing right there. Let's make this into a cereal bowl and watch it sell like hotcakes. Or a salad bowl. It don't matter. Let's make it a little bigger and bright stainless steel, man. You know, that surgical stainless steel they use in fucking knives and shit. You know, food safe. Let's market that shit. We'll make $1 billion off that shit.
Well, if they made a salad bowl though,
I think they have
too much tossing.
dishes like that.
Too much tossing. I'm sorry, Mauro. What was that?
I'll say I think they do have food bowls and stuff like that. It's called jail,
Yeah, they also have toilets too.
right?
I've been to jail. I know.
I'm abstaining.
Nah. The toilets were, you know, the stainless steel, and everything you ate in the kitchen was that, you know, 100% Rubbermaid bullshit.
Where the hell did it go?
They want to make sure you can't cut nobody with what you're eating.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I can get that. Because people are very creative. I mean, if you want to find future engineers, go to a jail.
That's the original. That's the original look, JJ.
Hang on, Tommy. What, the one to the right?
Yeah, right here. This one.
See, I could have dealt with that because that kind of almost favors Dredd's helmet. Except for the I can't tell if that's part of the helmet or if it's a background. Looks like he's got a tall headpiece on it.
Hey, yeah, that's what this is. Like this ring at the top.
Mm-hmm.
This is a shortened version of that.
Yeah, but
for the most part, they hit his outfit very much like it looked like in the original.
Oh, I had a problem with the outfit, except for when he was standing in his tidy whities. Okay, it's not the outfit I had the problem with. It's the fucking chrome toilet bowl on his head. You know, they could have done it differently. They could have made it longer, more like the picture. You know, it would have been more acceptable. It looks like he's just like, oh, here's a bowl. I'll wear this. You know, that's what it looks like.
You know why they made the changes to it? Because they wanted his face to be a little bit more visible in it. I mean, it's the same thing when they did.
Why?
When they did Guardians of the Galaxy, if you look at Drax, I'm sorry, Drax does not look anything at all like he did in the original comic books. He doesn't look close.
Why, man? You don't need a mask to tell how dumb he truly is.
No, but the actors like to have their face on the screen recognizably.
He is not an actor by any means. He's not even a fucking commercial
and it doesn't
actor.
mean he ain't trying.
Hey, I'm serious. The shit it comes out of that man's mouth, it doesn't matter how big that helmet was. You can still tell how dumb it is.
Well, you know what? And you know, that's the thing. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. And you know what? There's a lot of other actors that are idiots. Because if you take it just in that rationale alone, then you should start hating on the original Star Wars because of all the shit that comes out of Mark Hamill's mouth. That guy is a complete fucking moron. I don't care what anybody says. Some of the shit that jackass...
lightsabers in the world, and he looks right down the barrel at it.
Some of the dumb shit that Mark Hamill says, especially on Twitter, oh my god, he's a fucking idiot.
God!
Well, I don't pay attention. I don't pay attention to Twitter like that.
I've seen one or two only because someone retweeted it, not because I was actually subscribed to him. And I'm like, oh, good God, man. He's like the guy version of Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, the TDS is strong with Mark Hamill.
All right, now maybe that's where I've got a little bit more hope than most people do, because you know, a lot of this stuff I don't pay attention to Twitter for. The only thing I use Twitter for is promoting shows, retweeting them out. You know, I could care less about what people say. You know, I could care less what people say. especially if it's dumb, negative, or just flat out retarded. Pardon for using the word.
That's
But
fair.
there is some out there, you know, that are tweeting some really ridiculous shit.
Yo.
You know, I don't, you know, that's why my tagline used to be, you know, sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet, sometimes I don't. It's a lottery. Come check it out. Because I don't give a fuck about all the drama.
That sounds like a much more peaceful way to live. I unfortunately, like a bull, will run headfirst into red flags.
Well, you know, I've seen a lot of people do it. I mean, I seen Happy Dinosaur in here earlier, and you know, sometimes we see these articles, and I don't care if it's on YouTube, if it's on Twitter, or if it's, you know, just some article we see somewhere else. Sometimes you automatically jump to conclusions, and I remember there was this one in particular. It was talking about some fat woman that got COVID or something like that. And
Perfectly
she was saying
healthy
how, how she was healthy and that she should have took. And it turns out it was a fake article. I found the real article.
I did not know it was a fake article, but
Yeah,
the picture they showed, I do not mean to body shame, but her whole, like the whole lower, everything lower than her temple was as fat as my ass.
Yeah, but the thing was, I mean, that was a completely faked article. I found the real article and I put it in the Twitter feed, and I just said, you know, we got to be a little bit more careful because there's a lot of people.
Tag me in that. That's awesome.
There's a lot of people putting those fake articles out there just to promote outrage. And you know what?
Exactly,
I mean,
exactly. It's propaganda on either side.
Yeah, but I mean, like, as far as like with some of these people, and this is why I'm getting back to the Mark Hamill statement. I could separate Mark Hamill, the idiot in real life, from the actor on screen. I could appreciate the work he's done without having to like him.
It does ruin it for me a little bit. That's why I try to avoid any of Ryan Reynolds stuff, just in case, because I don't want Deadpool ruined for me.
Okay, listen, we all have our own, you know, opinions, and that's what makes this a great get together, you know, because we all have our own opinions on whatever subject, and we're allowed to have those, you know, regardless of what people tell you. We are allowed to have opinions. We don't have to agree with them. We don't have to disagree with them, you know, as long as we can walk away from this in a friendly manner. And that's what people have forgotten.
Exactly, and I think a lot of this stemmed from the cliche of don't talk about politics or religion. But you do that for so long, you forget how to have that conversation. And that goes for a lot of different subjects.
Well, me personally, I never knew how to have that conversation.
Well, yeah, and if you tried, a lot of times it was like, no, we don't talk about those sort of things. And like, really? We're not allowed to talk about this. And then people forgot how to have a civil discourse.
I've always said,
That's what I'm getting at.
okay, I don't really care about the laws or anything else that has to go with it. See, I can't even name the shit. Okay, and the reason being is it never really had to do with me. It never concerned me personally. You know, I'm not saying it's a good thing to look the other way on some of this stuff, but it's like, it's none of my business at this point. Okay, but now it does affect me because I got off the phone with Social Security yesterday, and I just found out some interesting news.
Uh-oh.
Okay, because I'm on SSI, which is not Social Security, ladies and gentlemen. It stands for Supplemental Security Income.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I thought it was kind of similar to Social Security, but I don't know.
A few weeks ago, I tried to do a small fundraiser to try to get some money to fix my car.
Oh shit.
I'm supposed to, every dollar I get over $50, I'm supposed to report to Social Security. Okay, and not only that, I finally got a complete answer why I was denied disability the second time around.
That's fucked up. Once you get into a certain spot, they don't want you to ever succeed or move up.
Exactly. And this is the reason I got.
They want you dependent on them or magically hit the lottery. What are the others?
No.
No.
This is what I found out. Oh, you guys are gonna love this if you didn't already know this. Okay, if you go and file for a second time for Social Security disability, okay, you cannot use the same stuff you used to file before.
What the fuck?
Okay.
What, are they assuming that those things have changed?
That's what I explained to her. I said, my health condition is declining. You know, luckily not too damn fast, but it ain't getting no better. I said, now you're telling me I can't file for disability for what's wrong with me because I've already used most of it the first time around?
That's insane.
I said, you wanted me to invent new shit? What do you want me to do? And I was, I had to apologize to this woman several times because of this. And it just shows now.
I'm sure she's heard worse.
Well, it wasn't her personally, not making up these rules. So I can't take it out on her for that.
I understand. I dealt with that too.
Yeah, so Captain, you know what I'm talking about. It just goes with everything we deal with in society, whether it's political, entertainment. Have a good night, Wookie. It doesn't matter what we say or what we do. There's always going to have someone a different opinion about it. Okay, and we cannot learn how to get along, no matter what the subject. And YouTube's pretty much the same way. We don't follow their guidelines. So we're the one punishing for it. And I understood what you meant by that earlier. They don't follow their own guidelines either.
Right.
Someone should be held accountable, but the wrong people are being held accountable for it.
Yeah, because it's so much easier to pick on the smaller person than the bigger person. That's how it's always been,
exactly. Sadly. They always assume you ain't got money. You can't afford lawyers.
Oh, I was stunned when they were going. They decided to start out their crazy behavior on some of those really big channels like PewDiePie, and I'm like, damn, and that set a precedent because they put the head on a spike, saying, hey, if we can take him, we can take any of you, and they ain't wrong.
That's the truth.
Like that was the warning shot. So
luckily I haven't experienced the problems you guys have on YouTube. Okay, I don't ever plan to get that big or that important or probably even that well known to even worry about it. If they take my channel, fuck it, I'll make another. I don't care.
Well, I think part of the reason we kept talking about this is not only are they just going after people for no real reason at all. It's very blasé. Is the fact that, like Wes was saying, if you wind up getting to the position where they take your whole channel down, they take your Google email along with it.
What? I didn't know they could take your email.
Everything. Oh yeah.
You lose everything.
Whoa! That seems a bit much. I mean, I thought taking your channel down was a bit much, but taking your email, my email is connected to my bank account. It's connected
That's
to
why you don't
everything.
Create a YouTube channel with your primary Gmail.
Well, I didn't know everything my life was going to take these paths.
Here, listen for a second. Use a separate email and use a separate phone number when creating your YouTube account.
It's a good thing I don't have a Gmail account, man.
Some of us don't have more than one phone number and shit.
Right.
You can get one online for free.
Yep.
I got like 5 of them.
Oh, dang.
They're easy to get. I haven't had a cell phone in 6 years. Why? Because they're information whores. Cell phone does nothing for you but rip off your information that you give away for free.
Man, I thought I rebelled against the man.
Google Voice, Skype. There's so many out there. There are free providers of phone numbers. Just fill out one for one. Make a dummy Gmail account. Just make a random one. Get a free phone number. Activate your YouTube account and create your channel off of that. Because Google isn't playing games. You get blacklisted from them. It's like that episode. Sorry, guys, I'm having a sugar spike right now. It's like White Christmas from Black Mirror. You get blocked from Google. You get blocked from everything.
Oh, I had no idea.
On that note, I do gotta bow out.
Well, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to close this out in a minute. I've been going for over 2 hours. I need to take a break. I was actually on a stream earlier with Vinny Tartamelli. You know, he was talking about Shadow the Crack, and he was talking about another creator with a book called Death, Death, Death. I got a chance to talk a little bit of Transformers. That's always fun because that's my thing. You give me time to sit there and talk about the history of Transformers, and I will give you a rundown that'll probably curl your toes because I'm going to give you information you probably never heard of. So, I mean,
okay,
that's my jam.
So I'm gonna do this live, Tommy. My next movie Wednesday night is Transformers the movie. you're more than welcome to come and watch if you want.
Well, yeah, I should be able to stop by for that one if you got room on the panel for it.
I can hold 10 people. Of course I got room.
Yeah, I've actually talked it over with the wife, and I said, well, if something goes on, she says, look, if you want to go on, go on. Just don't be up to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning when I want to go to bed so I can get ready for work the next day or whatever. So, yeah, so I worked that out. So, yeah, I can show up for those streams.
We get together about 7:30, 8 o'clock, depending on how long the movie is, and we physically watch it. That way it's fresh in our brains when we go live, and I go live at 10. And I normally don't go. I usually an hour and a half, depending on how well the discussion's going. It's not a real long stream, so you won't be up all night.
Awesome. Thank you, JJ. Let's go over to Shellback. Shellback, do you have anything going up besides your anime show?
Not at the moment. But I should be on here at 3 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. So we're doing Outlaw Star, and we actually watch the episode via Discord, and then we talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, so remember, if you come by Shellback's channel and you wonder why nobody's talking, it's because they're all over it on Discord actually watching the episode. So he always leaves the link in there so you can go over there and watch the episode with them and then come back to the channel to discuss it afterwards. Captain Trek, got anything going on?
Yes, we're doing Morning Brew tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Central.
Awesome. And you run them every single day, right?
Yes, I do, except on Monday morning.
Awesome. Make sure you stop by and see Captain Trek. LDG, let them know what you got going on.
Going on, guys. That's LDG of Geeks Enjoy ! On YouTube, and secondary channel Geeks Enjoy Nerdrotica, where we do a Saturday night, a late night nerdgasm. That's right, adult talk show for nerds. We have some fun. Excuse me. On LDG, we do watch parties. We do waiting rooms. The stream between the streams. Place to hang out. If you're not watching any of these fine people on YouTube, you can hang out in the waiting room. You can follow me on Twitter at Geeks Enjoy, #FreeTheNet, and check out the new platform that I've been working on for about 5 months now, nerdrotica.com. Also, Shellback, real quick, I've been working on a new feature for you guys where I'm going to be sharing a public folder. And if you want, what you can do is you can drag the show you're watching, because if you guys know, I do watch parties, and I actually show the damn movie on YouTube and get away with it. I'm going to create a folder where you can drag and drop whatever you want to share with the community, and it will return to you a movie folder of screenshots and turn it into a screenshot movie. That way, if they don't have Discord or if they don't have whatever platform that you're showing it on, you can show it on YouTube and you won't get content matched.
Wow.
So just FYI, that's in the making.
Awesome. Cool.
That's bold.
Maura, what do you got going on, Maura? Anything new, or have you pretty much given up hope?
Once in a while, I randomly stream if something's going on, whether it's like political rally or whatever. Like, sometimes I don't know until the last minute, and I just start, turn the phone on and start streaming. So, I don't have any, per se, projects set up at the moment. I'm at a weird standstill because now that my divorce is finalized, I'm going through that process where you have to send in to get your social security number, like your card updated and sent to you, your ID updated and sent to you. So I'm going through that weird phase, right, that transition right now. So I'm kind of at a standstill until all that comes into play.
You're transitioning? Oh, how?
Okay.
Oh, my dad used to say I was more manly than the dudes I dated. So I mean, why not? But no.
Not the only one.
I'm ever trying to take your man.
Hey.
But,
if I may have for a second.
Yeah.
How you doing, Peaches?
Hello, puppy.
It's been a while. I think the cat needs to make a return.
I look like shit right now, dude.
I ain't talking about right this second.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Although a few people, I think it might have been you and a few others have suggested that, like, some of my TikTok videos, especially the ones without copywritten music, obviously, I should turn into shorts on YouTube. So I should consider that. I might, when we hop off here, I might look into doing that.
Okay.
So I don't know.
But
Possibly,
I
if
think
y'all want to look out for that, I guess you can.
no, I think it's time for a cat to make a return. So.
Well, I feel like I can't be quite so bold. I mean, on certain things, because right now I've got to walk a very fine balance. Because at first I thought I had to try to find a nice unifying balance between Democrats and Republicans, and actually, in the war zone of Twitter, and they know I'm a Republican, I'm actually getting less hassle from them. Weirdly enough, and I've barely been acknowledged. And I actually kind of got. I think the GOP here. I hate to say it. I never thought I would say it, but I think they're kind of like low key misogynist. I'm not joking, because I talked to the chairman of the GOP because he's disappointed with our governor, which I'm thinking yes. And so I handed him my card, chat with him, and hoping that maybe we could like have a sit down and talk, and talk about some of the ideas I might have, this, that, the other. He decided to pick his good old boy.
Well, you know what time it is, right?
Our good old boy, though. Oh shit.
Hey, you know what time it is, though, right? You could use us. No, you could use us, your audience, to practice your speaking voice.
Oh shit.
Oh, and Death by Saber. Every Monday he does a Star Wars and Hose show. HOSE, HOES.
I remember there.
And Jason Lee Tucker, what's going on? And Resolute Sherm, how you doing? You guys came in just as we were wrapping up, but
we still love you.
Oh yeah.
What, Wes? When can we expect to see your channel again?
Provided that they don't go back and find more stuff to strike me with and wipe me out permanently. I'm going to be back in 2 weeks, or you'll see me on all these fine folks here on the panel on their channels, and you'll see me on Odyssey, odyssey.com/WesMoodyWebcast, and I'm still on Twitch as far as I know, so I may get in some gaming time tonight on Twitch. If they nuke my channel, I'm going to create a new channel, and I'm going to call it Band Incorporated, so there you go.
All right. I love the name, bro.
I kind of want to say something, but I'm afraid it might be taken as shade, and it's not meant to be. But, like, I know that, like, me and Wes maybe haven't always seen eye to eye, but I am really sorry they're fucking treating you like this. You do not deserve that shit. You've worked your ass off, and this is not cool. I just wanted to say that. There's a few creators I kind of don't see eye to eye with, but this is wrong, man. They've worked their ass off, and this is not how to reward someone.
Well, a lot of people have worked hard at doing what they're doing for their channels.
Right?
I mean, not all of us. Some of us are just like luckily and stupidly fall into material when we're making things.
But still, they earned it.
I'm guilty of that sometimes.
Whatever. They deserve better than this.
But a lot of us do work. Granted, we don't work as hard as those guys that said that they, busted their ass to. For Star Wars, and they couldn't get into the amusement parks, but that's a whole different topic. But some of us actually put a lot of time and investment into this because we, whether it was we wanted to build the channel to make money off it or whether we just wanted to reach out to people, a lot of us have put a lot of ourselves into what we're doing. Exactly. And we get a lot of good reciprocation back from it, and that encourages us to keep going. And then you have Big Brother sitting over your shoulder, tapping you, saying, "Yeah, we don't like what you're doing. We're going to suppress you," and that's absolute bullshit.
It is. I absolutely agree.
But Deej, what do you got going on, buddy?
Well, I was going to ask Moira real quick if I could write a speech for her because I got a really good opening.
Oh no!
Oh hell!
4 catnips and 7 litter boxes ago.
No, stop yourself now. Stop yourself.
I think I got something for that.
All right, fine.
Kitty Burgy dress. Great. He's making it to the Kitty's Burgy dress. Fantastic.
We'll just skip that.
There we
then.
go.
And, let's
There we
see.
go.
What do I
Okay.
have going on?
Whoa.
What do I have going? I'll do a live stream where I'll shave my head if I get 30 more subscribers before midnight.
30? At least do for 50.
You hear that? Everybody, make
Bring your
sure you
words.
pass the word. Make sure you subscribe to Deej. We got to see him shaved. And if he does it as a guinea pig, that's actually a double bonus because guinea pigs that are shaved look like little baby hippos.
Okay, hold on.
I know that, but I ain't
30 more
entertained
subs.
by that.
30 more subs for what?
So he
Shave
shaves
his head.
Just
No,
I'll
no.
shave my head. Just
In other words, 30 subs for what? To what?
Channel.
250.
for my YouTube channel before midnight.
Okay. Where are you
I'm
at now as
seeking
far as
that.
subs?
Oh no, for 30 subs, you're gonna have to like shave your whole body.
I've had that posting up for a couple hours now, and I've gained 0. So nobody apparently wants to see me shave my head.
Well, maybe
Well,
they're just
I-
not maybe they're just not seeing it. Sometimes I just don't see y'all's posts, even if I'm like following you on Twitter. Like someone had to retweet it, and then it comes across.
Oh, I
Well,
threw it up on
no, no.
Twitter, Facebook.
It has to do
Should've
with the
told him to
YouTube
shave your
sub.
ass.
If you're sub to him, then you've already done your job.
But
I bet
Sometimes
if you
Twitter
shave your ass,
YouTube
you'll
doesn't
get
do his
200
job, and we
subs.
got to do extra to go over there and make sure.
But also, one other thing before I take off too. If I get free time, I'm going to make a rant video because I knew it was going to happen. There was this lieutenant colonel in the Marines that called out, said that leadership needed to be held responsible and everything else. Well, of course, I knew it was going to happen, but just a couple hours ago, he put out that he's been relieved of his command for a cause based on a lack of trust and confidence.
Really, that's weird because that was exactly his argument.
Ooh.
Y'all, I hate to say it, but we are straight up under siege.
Who got relieved? I
When
didn't
things
miss
get
that.
bad, this is the country people ran to. Now there's nowhere to go.
A lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps put out a video that said that the higher-ups in charge of this fiasco across over the pond needed to be held responsible. Well, just a little while ago, he was relieved of his command based on a lack of trust and confidence.
So to confirm what he was concerned about,
So
they
because he
proved it.
said someone needs to get fired, they fired him
they're
for
actually-
saying someone needs to get fired.
That's nicer than what I
That's
would have
right.
said. I would
There
use the
are
term
some rules.
tribunal.
Yeah,
Lack of
there actually
confidence.
are
Like
some
if,
rules about
if my
military
subordinate
officers.
said I need to get fired, I no longer have confidence in that person.
That's pretty wild when
They
that
gotta
happens
go.
to a lieutenant colonel. That's pretty bold.
Well, he pretty much knew that's what they were going to do to him for putting out the video. That's
Correct.
what I knew what was going to happen. But
That was
come on,
quick.
man. Come on,
Imagine
man.
if we had a platform where he could have done that without being pointed finger at it.
Shellback,
They'd
did
have found it.
Shellback, did you or JJ have any last thoughts on that before we close this out?
Thoughts on
I was
what?
just gonna say that military officers are not supposed to badmouth the commander in chief.
Sometimes it needs to be done.
So,
Not
yeah.
supposed to, but not
Yeah,
supposed
supposed to be
to.
the chain
Not
of
allowed.
command.
It's different things.
Maybe he tried
They
that.
should.
What do you do when the chain of command is corrupt? Then what do you do?
You're supposed to report it, and they're supposed to handle it internally.
Yeah, they're going to investigate themselves and found they've done no wrong.
What if the people investigating are corrupt?
Right? That's what I'm saying. What if the chain of
Where
command is
do
broken?
you go?
well, you know,
If there's no
when the
place to
Joint
go.
Chief of Staff, freaking General Milley, you know, when General Milley is like, well, you know, I want to understand white rage. Brr, 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 brr.
And that's his right to do so, but the opposing side should have the right to say something too. Not
Like I
this,
said, if
not this pick
honestly
and choose
posted
who
it,
gets to have freedom
you
of
wouldn't
speech.
be in trouble right now. But we don't have a platform for that.
Anywho. JJ, anything on that? Or
Yeah, no comment really, because I'm really just so uneducated about the whole situation.
all right.
Well, I'm sure you can agree that like people should be able to like have some sort of recourse and justice.
No,
It's
they
called
definitely
freedom.
should, but All right, everybody.
Everything
I
you
want to
sign
thank.
away when
I
you
want to thank
go to
everybody
them.
that's come by in the chat tonight. Every single one of you are amazing. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Best chat on YouTube. I want to thank everybody that's been here on the panel tonight. You all have been amazing. And you know, we started off the show talking about YouTube, and we wound up talking about a few other subjects that are, you know, pretty important to talk about, and a few maybe not so much when it came to like the movies and everything. But it's just some of the stuff that's on our minds, and we come here and we have this open forum to be able to talk about whatever we want to talk about. And then like I said, it started off with YouTube again, because it's just their nonsense won't stop. And if we don't call it out, it's never going to change. Now, whether that change is winding moving to another platform, or maybe YouTube eventually changing their ways and seeing what they're doing to the community and destroying it, who knows? But if we don't speak up and say nothing about it, nothing is ever going to be done, and we are wasting our time. So thank you so much for being here. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you should or should not say. What
Do
you
not
can
let the
and
man
cannot
get you
watch.
down.
Your silence gives consent. We'll catch you all next time. Later, y'all. I'm thinking I need to add a few more people to this one.